Chapter 1815. Late at night in a luxurious manor outside Jadeite City. At this moment, this manor was rented by Xia Ping at the cost of 10,000 demon coins a month. This also allowed Tu Linglong and Qing Wan to get rid of that dirty, cramped and shabby hotel. Whoosh! A black shadow flew over in the night, swept across the void and stood in mid-air. This person was the black-winged old monster. Humph, really a villain intoxicated by success. He only got so little money and yet he is so extravagant. The black-winged old monster snorted at this kind of behavior, thinking that it was a waste of money. If he had money he might as well buy all kinds of elixirs to increase his cultivation. This was the way to use money. In this world nothing could be relied on, only one's fist could be relied on. Where is that kid Master Matedo? The black-winged old monster's eyes revealed a glimmer of light. He summoned the demon wind silently and in an instant, it enveloped the manor. He immediately found that Master Matedo was alone in a huge bath, and he was even humming a song in a good mood. Very good, this kid is now unguarded, it is a good time to kill him. The black-winged old monster was delighted. Most likely the kid did not expect that he would make a move tonight and he could kill the kid by surprise. When he understood the truth of the matter, it was already too late. He was also a ruthless and decisive person. Once he made a decision he would immediately make a move. Whoosh! In an instant the black-winged old monster turned into a black airflow, and silently he instantly sneaked into the bath of this manor, and then he saw the location of Xia Ping. Divine power, thorn of black wind. He condensed the black demon wind and turned it into a thorn. It contained supreme sharpness and with lightning speed, it was enough to shatter the stars. Dong. This blow fiercely bombarded the back of Master Matedo, and immediately a terrifying magical power erupted from the opponent's body, producing an extremely terrible destructive power. Succeeded? No, the ancient heavenly dragon talisman on his body did not burst out. The black-winged old monster was originally overjoyed, thinking that he had killed Master Matedo, but the problem was that he could not seem to find the ancient heavenly dragon talisman on Master Matedo. As a peak Dharma realm expert, he immediately knew that he had killed the wrong person, and the real Master Matedo was not dead at all. Bang! Sure enough, in the next second, the surrounding environment shattered like glass, and even the body of Master Matedo on the ground disappeared in front of the black-winged old monster like a wisp of smoke. And the real Xia Ping was standing not far from the black-winged old monster, looking at him with a faint smile. Ha, old demon Black-Wind, it's already so late, yet you still dare to come to my residence and attempt to assassinate me. Furthermore, the dignified Myriad Demons Pavilion's pavilion master is actually doing something like this. Don't you feel ashamed? Xia King Thousand masked Mu and said, Master, was illusion technique? When I was the monster of Xian. Mu Thousand he old demon Black Wind immediately felt fearful of Xia Ping. Xia Ping was actually able to silently set up an illusion formation, blinding his perception and causing him to unknowingly fall into an illusion. Xia, when did you set it? It was just after you stepped into the range of dozens of miles from the manor. But the reason why you went through so much trouble to sneak into my manor, I'm afraid you are after something. Let me guess, you want to get the ancient heavenly dragon talisman from me? Xia Ping smiled at the black-winged old demon. What? Did you also perceive the ancient heavenly dragon talisman in my body? The eyes of the black-winged old demon flickered, and he felt that something was wrong. It seemed that he had fallen into the trap of the other party unknowingly, and he even foolishly broke into the enemy's nest. At this moment he already had the intention to retreat. Of course I know. The reason why I put on a show in the Thousand Demon Pavilion and deliberately revealed the aura of the ancient heavenly dragon talisman to lure you was to lure the snake out of its hole. Xia Ping stood with his hands clasped behind his back. Originally, if you had stayed in the 10,000 Demon Pavilion, which is heavily guarded, it would have taken me a lot of effort to kill you. I didn't expect you to be so stupid as to personally attack. Even the King of Hell wants you dead. Arrogant. A junior dares to be so arrogant. I am a Dharma characteristic realm mighty figure, a demon king. So what if you, a junior, set a trap? If I want to leave no one can stop me. The black-winged old demon snorted coldly. He turned into a gust of demonic wind and immediately wanted to escape. Too late. Xia Ping waved his hand, and the bead of mountains and rivers in his body trembled. Immediately a large array rose, Wuji spatial array. Boom. Suddenly the large array appeared silently, covering hundreds of kilometers in an instant. It sealed the sky and locked the earth, condensing the void and turning the place into an absolute spatial domain. Dong, dong, dong. The black-winged old demon fled frantically, but when he rushed into the air, he immediately hit a thick wall. With a loud bang, there was an earth-shattering sound, and his head was swollen as he let out a tragic cry. He was indignant and tried to break through the seal, but after hitting it several times the spatial array couldn't move. It's useless. Under my Wuxia spatial array the sky and earth are sealed and the void is frozen. Unless you kill me there is no way you can escape from this array. Xia Ping was extremely confident in the power of the Wuxia spatial array. This was an extremely powerful sealing array that formed an absolute space. Even a lightning tribulation realm mighty figure couldn't escape from this array, let alone the black-winged old demon. If that's the case then I'll kill you. The black-winged old demon's eyes revealed a hint of murderous intent. He actually gave up on escaping and directly attacked Xia Ping. Divine power, dark astral wind. This was the black-winged old demon's most terrifying bloodline divine power. He had finally mastered it by absorbing the earth fiend astral wind in the depths of the void and after thousands of years of cultivation. After mastering it, this divine power was simply invincible. It could destroy the soul, destroy the physical body, and corrode the primordial spirit. It was simply invincible and no monster dared to face it head-on. Even if it was a protective artifact, it would be quickly corroded, polluted, and destroyed by the dark astral wind. With this divine power, the black-winged old demon was simply invincible, beating countless monsters until they knelt and begged for mercy. That was how he became the myriad demon pavilion master in Jadeite City. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. In the depths of the void, black astral winds whistled and turned into tornadoes, rushing towards Xia Ping. They covered the sky and the earth, as if an endless storm had been set off, containing terrifying killing intent. Kill? Xia Ping didn't even look at it. He gathered the infernal golden crow bloodline in his body, and terrifying flame energy rose from the depths of his body and gathered on his fist. His entire fist seemed to have turned into elements, turning into a flaming fist. Chapter 1816. Dong. With a punch, scorching heat exploded and endless light shot out, tearing through the dark vacuum. With just one blow, the dark gales in the air were instantly destroyed. Even the gales were quickly purified by the flames of the golden crow of hell, turning into nothingness. The black wind demon could not withstand this blow either. He was sent flying and the terrifying magical power seeped into his lungs, causing him to cough up blood. Impossible. Blood seeped from the corner of the black wind demon's mouth as he looked at Xia Ping in shock. You're just a junior at the returning nature stage. How can you have such strong magical power? You've actually surpassed me who's at the peak of the Dharma stage. Where did you come from? For the first time he had doubts about Xia Ping's background. He was only at the returning nature stage but he already had such power. Was he a descendant of the king demons, or a descendant of the divine beasts? Why don't you go ask the king of hell? Xia Ping charged forward, not giving the black wind demon a chance. His fist was like a blazing sun containing the strongest heat. It was as if he was holding a sun, releasing endless light. His entire body seemed to turn into endless flames, burning the air. Wisps of fire dripped onto the ground, burning the ground until it collapsed, creating shocking craters. Even deep within each wisp of fire, there was a golden crow seal, emitting an eternal, immortal aura. If not for the Wuxia space matrix of the Pearl of Mountains and Rivers, isolating the area from the outside world, such a phenomenon would have spread throughout the entire Jadeite city and shocked countless demons. Damn it, you want to kill me? It's not that easy. Even if I die, I'll drag you down with me. Come out, ancient heavenly dragon talisman. The black wind demon roared. As a peak Dharma stage cultivator, he instinctively sensed that if he continued to hide, he would definitely die under this punch. All the cells in his body were warning him. Therefore he did not dare to hold back any longer. He immediately summoned the 18 ancient heavenly dragon talismans in his body. Rumble, in an instant 18 ancient heavenly dragons emerged from his body. Their roars shook the heavens and the earth, shaking the entire universe. Even the surrounding space was rattling, emitting a terrible dragon's might. After old demon Black Wind's tens of thousands of years of tempering and watering them with his blood essence day and night, the 18 primordial sky dragon talismans had long become one with his mind. The moment they were summoned, the primordial sky dragon talismans immediately released immense power that far exceeded old demon Black Wind's body. It could even match a mighty figure at the peak of the lightning tribulation. However, Xia Ping only laughed when he saw the 18 primordial sky dragon talismans. He could see the endless grievances and hatred deep in the eyes of the primordial sky dragons, as well as deep indignation. From the looks of it, old demon Black Wind had never fused his mind with the primordial sky dragon talisman. His 10,000 years of tempering was just him using his powerful dermic powers and massive blood essence in an attempt to forcefully fuse with the primordial sky dragon talisman. It even had great ambitions. It wanted to obtain the primordial sky dragon's dragon blood from the primordial sky dragon talisman and obtain the various dermic powers of the primordial sky dragon, so that it could one day become in existence like the primordial sky dragon. The problem was that the primordial heavenly dragon talisman was a primordial creature, one of the few powerful creatures in the world. Its arrogance was obvious, so how could it submit to a mere old demon Black Wind? Why would a dragon associate itself with a worm? In the eyes of a primordial sky dragon, a puny demon like old demon Black Wind was attempting to forcefully refine itself with blood essence. It was an affront to the dragon's authority, a dragon's reverse scale. However, the primordial sky dragon talismans were just too weak. Furthermore, they were at their weakest, so they had no choice but to submit to old demon Black Wind. However, the rage in their hearts was still brewing, waiting for the day it would erupt. Interesting. Xia Ping looked nonchalantly at old demon Black Wind. He originally thought that killing old demon Black Wind would take him some effort. But from the looks of it, there was no need for him to do much. All he needed to do was incur the wrath deep within the primordial sky dragon talismans, and old demon Black Wind would suffer the consequences of his actions. Upon thinking of this, he immediately took out a blob of dragon blood from the mountain river pearl space. So, instantly Xia Ping flicked his finger, sending drops of dragon blood to form cannonballs that tore through the void. At lightning speed, they struck the 18 primordial sky dragon talismans. Immediately, these primordial sky dragon talismans devoured the dragon blood. They immediately let out excited roars, and the aura on their bodies rose steadily. To them, the dragon blood was like sweet dew after a long drought. Haha, Master Potato, you idiot. I was wondering what you were doing. I didn't expect you to take out treasures to help my primordial sky dragon talismans increase in strength. You're still supporting the enemy. I don't know if you're stupid or not. Did you discover that I'm your father? Originally, old demon Black Wind was shocked, thinking that Xia Ping was up to some sinister plot. However, he immediately discovered that the strange thing that Xia Ping had thrown at him was instantly devoured by the primordial sky dragon talismans on his body. Following that, the power of these 18 primordial sky dragon talismans rose rapidly. Wave after wave of tyrannical sky dragon power surged into his body, like a tide, constantly scouring it. At this moment, old demon Black Wind felt that his dermic powers were unprecedentedly powerful. He even felt that he could break through the bottleneck of the Dharma realm, and saw that he was about to break through the Thunder Calamity. How could he not be excited? Master Potato's actions were simply helping him break through his cultivation. At this moment, he was treating him even better than his biological father. Idiot. Xia Ping looked at old demon Black Wind with pity. He stood with his hands behind his back and did nothing, waiting for the other party to suffer the consequences of his actions. Idiot. You're still so arrogant here? Upon hearing this, old demon Black Wind flew into a rage and sneered, "Little brat, I won't hold it against you for now. When I break through to the Thunder Calamity realm, I'll personally crush you to death." Once he broke through to the Thunder Calamity realm, his strength would increase by tens or even hundreds of times. Coupled with the primordial sky dragon talismans that increased his strength, crushing this arrogant kid to death would be no different from crushing an ant. No matter what kind of divine beast descendant he was, under absolute power, he would all die. Come on, primordial sky dragon talismans. Contribute all your strength and help me step into the Thunder Calamity realm. I, old demon Black Wind, will be one of the future rulers of the demon realm. Now, old demon Black Wind's confidence was at its peak, as though he was the most supreme in the world. Even if a saint came here, he would dare to jump a few times. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. At this moment, the primordial sky dragons flew in midair and surrounded old demon Black Wind. A trace of clarity seemed to have returned to the depths of their eyes, and the blood chi in the depths of their bodies seemed to have been completely refined. Chapter 1817. What's wrong? A bunch of fools. Why are you standing here foolishly? All of you are my slaves. Listen to my orders immediately and contribute the primordial sky dragon powers in your bodies. Sacrifice yourselves for others. Once I break through my cultivation level, all of you will benefit in the future. Black Wind immediately cursed when he sensed that the surrounding primordial sky dragon talismans were motionless. However, the 18 primordial sky dragons remained floating in midair. Their gigantic dragon eyes were still staring at Black Wind. There was no anger or life in their pupils, only calmness. It was as calm as a deep pool, as though it would never change. However, such calmness left one's heart cold. What's going on? Are you rebelling because of the sudden increase in your powers? Old Demon Black Wind also sensed that something was amiss. Under normal circumstances, the primordial heavenly dragon talismans would immediately take action under his command. But now they were unresponsive. It was as though they had a mind of their own and were resisting. However, he still had a trump card. He sneered. I already knew that Dharma treasures like you have their own consciousness and instincts. Therefore, I planted a blood-packed seed deep in the talismans. Once it erupts, you will suffer a fate worse than death. You are just a Dharma treasure, an inanimate object, an existence akin to a slave. Such a lowly existence wants to rebel against its owner? That's just wishful thinking. Today I'll let you know who is the master and who is the slave. His expression was hideous as he formed seals with both hands. His demonic aura surged as he immediately activated the blood-packed seed left deep in the primordial sky dragon talismans. It was an energy seed from the fiendish Tao that contained a terrifying demonic aura. Once it erupted, it would be a fate worse than death. It could immediately obliterate the Dharma treasure's consciousness. However, after a while, the 18 primordial sky dragons remained motionless. Their gigantic pupils remained calm, as though they did not react to Black Wind's actions. However, the atmosphere instantly turned heavy. Every corner was filled with a terrifying dragon might, and with the passage of time, the pressure became more and more terrifying. The entire manor was rattling as the array trembled. How is this possible? Black Wind completely broke down as he lost control of his emotions. His expression was hideous. My blood-packed seed, my fiendish Tao energy. Where did it go? Why isn't there any reaction? Why did it disappear? Could it be that you expelled this energy? Impossible. How could it be so simple and easy? Master Mateto, is it you? Are you doing something? Where the hell did you feed the primordial heavenly dragon talisman? Why did such a thing happen? What did you do? It instinctively felt that this matter had something to do with Xia Ping. Xia Ping shook his head. The so-called fiendish energies were like ants compared to the primordial sky dragon's energy. Trying to control the primordial sky dragon talisman with such energy was truly a joke. There was no need to keep this Black Wind old demon any longer. Eat it, primordial sky dragon. Xia Ping said. Upon hearing that, the 18 primordial sky dragons in midair revealed a terrifying glint deep in their eyes. It was even more blinding than the sun's rays as they roared angrily. Within a radius of several hundred kilometers, the entire space was trembling. Even the ground was shaken to the point that cracks appeared. It was extremely shocking. Boom. In an instant, they pounced forward and instantly tore apart old demon Black Wind's body. His limbs, torso, and even his head were eaten by the primordial sky dragons. They were torn apart forcefully, leaving him drenched in blood. This was tearing him apart by 5 horses. However, Black Wind old demon Black Wind was a mighty figure at the peak of the Dharma law's realm. Even if his body was torn apart, his primordial spirit could still survive. However, he was in an extremely miserable state and could not even escape. No, no, no. Black Wind old demon Black Wind screamed and let out an indignant roar. I, Black Wind old demon Black Wind, am a mighty figure at the peak of the Dharma law's realm. In the future, I will become a demon sage. How can I die now? How can I be torn apart by 5 horses? Master Mateto, I can't accept this. I can't accept this. If you have the guts, fight me one-on-one. If you have the guts, fight me. Before he could finish his sentence, the 18 primordial sky dragons roared and ate his primordial spirit. They tore him apart and swallowed him into their stomachs. The poor Black Wind old demon Black Wind, a demon king, was eaten alive by the primordial sky dragons just like that. And after Black Wind old demon Black Wind died, the resentment and anger deep in the eyes of the 18 primordial sky dragons seemed to disappear. Their eyes also regained their clarity. Roar. The 18 primordial sky dragons roared into the sky, conveying the excitement of avenging their vengeance. They looked at each other and transformed into talismans that instantly entered Xia Ping's body. They felt extremely close to this human who had saved them and avenged them. At the same time, he had dragon blood in his body. Therefore, they took the initiative to acknowledge him as their master. The poor Black Wind old demon Black Wind had spent tens of thousands of years tempering it day and night, using countless materials, but was ultimately unable to subdue these primordial sky dragon talismans and gain their acknowledgement. But the moment he died, these primordial sky dragon talismans automatically acknowledged him as their master. There was no need for Xiaoping to do anything. If Black Wind Old Demon Black Wind knew of this, he would probably die from anger again. When the 18 primordial sky dragon talismans surged into Xiaoping's body, they immediately had a chemical reaction with the 28 primordial sky dragon talismans in his body. The dragon powers fused together, and at the same time, the 46 primordial sky dragon talismans gathered together to form a new array formation. Rumble. A massive surge of primordial sky dragon powers immediately surged into the depths of Xiaoping's body. His 9 essence souls were greedily devouring the massive and pure dragon powers. It was like sweet dew after a long drought. The dermic powers in the depths of his 9 purple residences were also rising, increasing by a huge margin. Even his essence soul was strengthening bit by bit, advancing towards the perfected realm. Vaguely, there seemed to be sky dragons swimming in the depths of his pupils. A terrifying dragon might emanated from his body, distorting the void and causing the ground to quake. Comfortable. Xiaoping felt extremely comfortable. After obtaining the 18 primordial sky dragon talismans, the dragon powers in the depths of his body, as well as the massive energy essence, allowed him to increase his dermic powers greatly. It saved him hundreds of years of dermic powers condensation. This was countless times better than eating 10,000-year-old spirit herbs. However, it was just too difficult to obtain primordial sky dragon talismans. After all, they were scattered across the universe. It was unknown where they were or what existence had obtained them. Even encountering them was extremely difficult, much less obtaining them. However, it was already extremely lucky for him to obtain so many primordial sky dragon talismans. There's still this head. Xiaoping looked at Black Wind Old Demon Black Wind's corpse that was strewn across the ground. With a wave of his hand, he immediately shattered all the pieces of the corpse, obliterating them completely. All that was left on the ground was a head. The reason why it was not completely obliterated was because he wanted to hang Black Wind Old Demon Black Wind's head at the entrance of his manor to warn the other demons in Jadeite City. He wanted to make a name for himself. Chapter 1818. The next morning, a monster passed by Xiaoping's mansion and immediately found a bloody head hanging at the door of the mansion. Its eyes were wide open as if it had died with a grievance. Why is this head so familiar? Where have I seen it before? A monster was very puzzled. How could it not be familiar? A monster screamed, "This is the master of the 10,000 demon pavilion, Old Demon Black Wind. My God, something big has happened. Even the Old Demon Black Wind is dead. He was killed by the local tyrant Master Mutato." It instinctively felt that something big had happened. What kind of character was the Old Demon Black Wind? He was the master of the 10,000 demon pavilion, a major force in the Jadeite city. He was powerful enough to be on an equal footing with the city lord. However, such a character was dead, and his head was hung on someone else's mansion. It could be imagined how terrible this fact was. It was enough to shake the entire Jadeite city. Hurry up, pass the news back immediately. This time an earth-shattering event really happened. A fierce dragon has come to the Jadeite city. A monster roared. Immediately, countless monsters on the street immediately acted and quickly passed the news to all places, so that all forces in the Jadeite city knew about it. Naturally, it included the 10,000 demon pavilion. Have you heard? The master of the 10,000 demon pavilion, Old Demon Black Wind, was killed, and his head was hung at the door of the mansion. I have heard about this for a long time. It spread throughout the city early in the morning. For this matter, I specially went there to have a look. Old Demon Black Wind died miserably. His eyes were wide open and he died with a grievance. Indeed, I can feel the huge resentment left on that head. It almost erodes the soul. Those with weak cultivation will go crazy. He is indeed a great monster, extremely terrible. He killed the monster and hung his head at the door of the mansion as a warning to others. How much hatred does he have? I heard that Master Mutato went to the 10,000 demon pavilion yesterday morning. I didn't expect that the shop assistant of the 10,000 demon pavilion looked down on him. He even tried to blackmail Master Mutato for stealing things. It can be imagined that in a rage, Master Mutato left the 10,000 demon pavilion and went to the Fox Demon Palace to trade, which also slapped Old Demon Black Wind's face. Thus, this enmity began to form and it was almost impossible to resolve. So that's how it is. It's no longer news that the myriad demon pavilion bullies its customers. To be honest, I've been scammed quite a few times. If it weren't for the fact that the Myriad Demon Pavilion is rich and powerful, I would have destroyed them long ago. Now that they encountered a vicious demon, even the pavilion master was killed, they deserve it. What kind of person is this Master Mutato? He is simply audacious. He even killed old monster Black Wind. Is he not afraid of the revenge of the 1,000 Demon Pavilion? Their forces cover the entire demon realm. That's not necessarily true. Didn't you see Master Mutato's appearance yesterday? He spent 1 billion demon coins just like that. How could such a monster have no background? Maybe he is not afraid of the 1,000 Demon Pavilion. There's going to be a good show to watch. It's going to be a fierce battle between tigers and dragons. I, on the other hand, hope that the Myriad Demon Pavilion is unlucky. These bastards have scammed quite a number of people. There aren't many people in the Jadeite city who haven't been scammed by the Myriad Demon Pavilion. This is definitely a scam. In the Jadeite city, countless demons were discussing the matter of old monster Black Wind's death in their spare time. Most of the demons were clapping their hands and cheering. They felt that this was a matter of great demon satisfaction. They were even gloating at the Myriad Demon Pavilion because they had been scammed by the Myriad Demon Pavilion. It had reached the level of public resentment. Fox Demon Palace. What? You said that old monster Black Wind was killed and even his head is hanging on the palace? Hu Sanyang had just gotten out of bed. She was extremely charming and extremely lazy. However, when she heard the news, she immediately jumped up from the bed and revealed a shocked expression. No one knew old monster Black Wind better than her. He was sinister, cunning, ruthless, and powerful. He had countless treasures on him. It was impossible for a Thunder Retribution Realm expert to kill him. But now there was news that old monster Black Wind was killed. She did not dare to believe this news at all. Palace Master, this news is correct. This subordinate has specially rushed over to take a look. That is indeed old monster Black Wind's head. The demonic aura it emitted, even if it turned into ashes, this subordinate would still recognize it. A fox demon swore to the heavens. Impossible. Hu Sanyang still did not dare to believe it. If there was a battle last night, it must have been at the almighty level. The entire Jadeite city should have been able to sense the fluctuations produced. But why was it so calm last night? I did not sense any fluctuations of magic power. This does not seem like a duel between almighty experts. This is not clear. Maybe the other party has a way to conceal the fluctuations of the battle so that outsiders cannot sense it. The fox demon shook his head. Looks like I have to re-evaluate this partner of mine. Hu Sanyang's expression was solemn. I previously thought that the other party was just a playboy. I did not expect him to be so savage. He even killed old monster Black Wind without making a sound. This method is really terrifying. Someone, immediately send me a message and personally deliver a big gift to celebrate Master Mutato's housewarming. It had already decided to nurture its relationship with Master Mutato and strengthen their cooperation. Maybe this time, it had hugged a golden thigh. Inside the Myriad Demon Pavilion. At this moment, many of the demons were already surging with anger. That Master Mutato is so daring. He even dared to kill the master of our 10,000 Demons Pavilion. He wants to overturn the heavens. A demon was unable to restrain his anger. Kill him. Immediately kill that Master Mutato. Take his head. Kill his entire family. Exterminate his entire clan. Avenge the master. Many demons shouted angrily. How many years had it been since something like this happened? It had always been their 10,000 Demons Pavilion bullying others and killing entire families. No demon dared to offend their 10,000 Demons Pavilion. All these years they were used to being domineering. Wherever they went, they were the local overlords. Even if the people were boiling with anger, no demon could shake the position of the 10,000 Demons Pavilion. But now, there was actually a demon who dared to kill the master of the 10,000 Demons Pavilion. He even hung the master's head above the mansion. This was no longer as simple as killing a demon. This was clearly a show of force. This was a deterrence. This was killing the chicken to scare the monkey. This was declaring war with their 10,000 Demons Pavilion. If they did not ruthlessly deal with this demon, would their 10,000 Demons Pavilion still have any face in the future? Would there still be demons who were afraid of their 10,000 Demons Pavilion? Everyone rest assured. The one who spoke was the Vice Master of the 10,000 Demons Pavilion. I have already reported this matter to the headquarters. They will send senior cadres to deal with this matter. When the experts from the headquarters arrive, they will immediately kill this reckless and arrogant demon to avenge the master. No demon can kill a demon from the 10,000 Demons Pavilion and live. I want him to be in a life and death situation. He clenched his fists and revealed a fierce look. Chapter 1819. Jadeite City Lord Palace. At this moment, many demon kings gathered together. Their demonic aura soared into the sky, and the leading demon was the Jadeite City Lord, the Jadeite Master. It was a demon at the peak of the Thunder Calamity state, and its cultivation was terrifying. Many demons could feel the terrible aura of the Jadeite Master, which was almost overflowing. It seemed that the slightest anger would bring down the power of thunder. "Ha, City Lord, I heard that the lawless old demon Black Wind is dead and his head is hanging on the door. Killing the chicken to scare the monkey. How delightful. I didn't expect to hear such good news so early in the morning." Some demons laughed and gloated. Obviously it had a deep grudge with the Black Wind demon. Isn't that so? That Black Wind demon is just a demon king at the peak of the Dharma plane. He came to our Jadeite city just because he is the pavilion master of the Myriad Demon Pavilion and has the support of the Myriad Demon Pavilion. He has taken advantage of us many times, but we can't do anything to him. He is really hateful. Some demons gritted their teeth. Over the years, the Black Wind demon had come to the Jadeite city, and their interests had been greatly damaged. However, they were afraid of the power of the Myriad Demon Pavilion and could not do anything to it. Over time, the Myriad Demon Pavilion became a cancer of the Jadeite city. Fortunately, God has eyes and let the Black Wind demon meet a tough guy, and he was killed directly. Now the Jadeite city is happy. There are no demons who dare to fight against us and we can dominate the world. Many of the demons smiled and felt very pleased. But what is the background of the demon who killed the Black Wind demon? Could it be that a fierce tiger came just after we drove away the wolf? This is not a good thing. Don't worry, I have investigated clearly. That kid is called Master Mutato, and he seems to be a powerful demon with a background. However, he came to the Jadeite city alone without any forces. There is such a thing, but since he dared to kill the pavilion master of the Myriad Demon Pavilion, I am afraid his background is not small. Otherwise, he would not be able to withstand the pressure of the Myriad Demon Pavilion. I really hope that the two sides fight each other. Many demons heard that Master Mutato did not have any forces stationed, and they immediately felt relieved. If another force stronger than the Myriad Demon Pavilion came, they would be extremely aggrieved. No one wanted to have an Emperor Emeritus sitting on top of their heads and having to take orders from him. Wait, he came to Jadeite City at this time and is so powerful. Could he be here for the black hole worm? A monster's eyes flickered as he voiced his guess. Definitely. How could such a powerful demon come to a small place like Jadeite City for no reason? If it wanted to go, it would go to a big city like Demon Imperial City. Other than the black hole worm being able to attract such a powerful demon, there are no other possibilities. In that case, we have another competitor for the black hole worm. This is going to be a little troublesome. To be able to kill old monster Black Zephyr without anyone noticing, that person's strength is not simple. That's right. Defeating old freak Black Zephyr is easy. However, killing him is even more difficult. Many monsters guessed the purpose of Master Mutato coming to Jadeite City. Suddenly the Emerald Lord said, "I've decided to invite Master Mutato to join our team to search for the black hole worm. We'll advance and retreat together." What? City Lord, isn't this a bit inappropriate? We don't know what kind of monster Master Mutato is. How can he join our team? What if he's a spy? If he turns on us, we can't stand it. That's right. Some monsters disagreed. There's nothing inappropriate about it. The Emerald Lord waved his hand. In this world, if you're not an enemy, then you're a friend. There's no neutrality. If we don't take advantage of this time to rope in such a powerful demon, would it be too late to wait for the black hole worm to appear? Moreover, the news of the black hole worm's appearance has spread far and wide. The nearby Giant Tide City, Green Willow City, Orchid City, Rose City, as well as the bigger forces like Fox Demon Palace, 10,000 Demon Pavilion, and Blood Shadow Sect have all swarmed out. Under these forces, our Jadeite City is just a slightly bigger ant. We don't have the upper hand at all. At that time, I'm afraid we won't even be able to see the black hole worm. Many monsters were silent. This was indeed the case. Compared with these forces, their Jadeite City's strength was not the weakest, but it also did not have any advantage. As for whether that demon has other intentions, I don't think it's a big problem. After all, what good intentions does our Jadeite City have? If he really had an intention, he wouldn't come to our Jadeite City. Wouldn't it be better to go to a bigger city? The Emerald Master continued, more importantly, for an unstable factor like this, rather than placing him outside where we don't know what he's doing, it's better to place him right under our noses and monitor him at all times. Wouldn't that be safer? Under your surveillance, can he still turn the sky upside down? City Lord is right. As expected of the City Lord, he's far-sighted. Many demons were filled with admiration. They were in awe and had nothing to say. Very well, then I'll personally persuade this demon to join us. The Emerald Lord said in a deep voice. What? Many monsters were surprised. The City Lord actually personally persuaded Master Mateto. How much face did he have? They didn't know how long it had been since they saw their City Lord meet with guests. However, thinking about it, the other party was a powerful demon who killed old demon Black Wind. He was qualified to be met by the City Lord personally. At this moment, in a manner, Tu Linglong and Qing Wan also knew what happened last night. Their faces were very dark. They didn't expect that after waking up, such an earth-shattering event would happen. The 10,000 Demon Pavilion's old demon Black Wind was actually killed by Xia Ping. Moreover, his head was hanging above the door, looking extremely ferocious and ominous. Xia Ping, you bastard human, do you know our identity? Stowaways, do you understand? Tu Linglong gritted her teeth and glared at Xia Ping. We are illegal in this place. If we are discovered by the demons, we are dead for sure. We will definitely become the target of public criticism. Countless great demons will come to find trouble with us and flock to us. In such a dangerous place, it's fine if you don't act carefully, but you actually caused such a big trouble. Even the 10,000 Demon Pavilion's master was killed. What should we do now? The 10,000 Demon Pavilion will definitely want to destroy you. She was so angry that she couldn't wait to bite Xia Ping, this troublemaker, to death. He actually did such a thing carelessly. Don't worry, the 10,000 Demon Pavilion is a big force. With such strength, the organization is overstaffed and decision-making is slow. By the time they make a decision, we will have already left the demon realm. How could we meet with the 10,000 Demon Pavilion's powerhouses? Xia Ping waved his hand. Moreover, I did such a thing with a purpose and a plan. It will be of great benefit to us to get the black hole worm. What good does killing old demon Black Wind do to get the black hole worm? It's clearly you bastard. Tu Linglong wanted to bite him. Chapter 1820. Before Tu Linglong could figure out who the guest was, a voice suddenly came from outside the mansion. Your Excellency, the City Lord of Jadeite City has come to visit. He hopes to meet you. Come in. Xia Ping waved his hand and removed the restrictive formation of the manor, allowing the monsters outside to enter. Whoosh. As soon as he finished speaking, 3 monsters immediately flew in from outside. The one in the lead was a Thunder Calamity State cultivator, and the 2 beside him seemed to be the guards of Jadeite City. They were a little weaker, but they were also at the peak of the Dharma stage, not inferior to the Black Wind Demon. If I'm not wrong, you should be the City Lord of Jadeite City. Xia Ping smiled slightly and looked at the old man in a green robe. He exuded a powerful demonic aura that was unfathomable, as if he was at the peak of the Thunder Calamity level. Such a person almost stood at the top of the mortal world, just one step away from transcending mortality and becoming a saint. The City Lord of Jadeite City? Hearing this, Tu Linglong and Qing Wan both widened their eyes. They were very nervous as they had never seen such an important person. This was the master of Jadeite City, a powerful cultivator at the peak of the Thunder Calamity level. To them, this was an important person who was so far away that they could not contact him at all. But now, he had actually come to meet them in person. It was really unbelievable. Brother Wu, this is the first time we've met. I don't have much to give you, so I'll just give you a small gift as a housewarming gift. The Jade Master clapped his hands and laughed. Whoosh whoosh. As soon as he finished speaking, the 2 guards next to him threw out a space ring, which was filled with a lot of treasures. Xia Ping reached out and took it. He scanned it with his divine sense and saw that the space ring was filled with dazzling treasures, magic treasures, materials, pills, and so on. It was worth at least 100 million demon coins. They had just met, but they had already given such a valuable gift. On the one hand, they were after something big, and on the other hand, they were showing the wealth of Jadeite City. No matter what, the purpose of the Jade Master had been achieved, which was enough for Xia Ping to pay attention to their action this time. Thank you, City Lord, for your gift. But in my opinion, the gift is nothing. It seems that the City Lord wants to be friends with me. Xia Ping smiled slightly. The corners of the 2 monster guards' mouths twitched. This guy was quite arrogant. A gift of 100 million demon coins, and he still dared to say that it was a small gift. One must know that this was a wealth that many monsters could never obtain in their lifetime. But thinking about it carefully, This guy could spend 1 billion demon coins in a day, so it was not surprising that he dared to say such words. Ah, you're right. The gift is secondary. I just want to make friends with you, Brother Wu. As the saying goes, everyone is a brother. One more brother and one more friend means one more way out. There's no need for one more enemy, right? The Emerald Master indeed wanted to make friends with Xia Ping and find out more about him. There's no need for pleasantries. I'm a demon and I'm a straightforward person. I don't like pleasantries. City Lord, why don't you tell me the reason for your visit today? Xia Ping went straight to the point. Haha, as expected of Brother Wu. You're indeed direct. I'm the same. I can't be bothered with pleasantries. It's a waste of time, so I'll get straight to the point. This time the black hole worm has appeared. Do you want to join our Emerald City and work together to obtain the black hole worm? The Emerald Master stated his purpose. I believe you also know how precious the black hole worm is. Once you obtain it, you can roam the world and comprehend the power of space within the black hole worm. With the power of the black hole worm, you can easily enter mystic realms with all kinds of restrictive formations and obtain all kinds of secret treasures. The world is big and you can go anywhere you want. What? Tu Linglong and Qing Wan were dumbfounded. They never thought that the Emerald Master would appear in person. His purpose was to rope in Xia Ping and let him join the team to obtain the black hole worm. What was this? Inviting a wolf into the house. I see. It's about the black hole worm. It's not impossible to join you, but what value do you have for me to join? You should know that there are many monsters that want to invite me. Xia Ping hesitated and didn't agree easily. As a powerful monster, he couldn't join just because he wanted to. He needed to be reserved or other monsters would look down on him. Hearing this, the Emerald Master and the other monsters didn't get angry. Instead, they looked as if they had expected it. They had guessed that he came to Jadeite City for the black hole worm, and it seemed that it was just as they had expected. I believe that Brother Wu also knows that the black hole worm disappeared in the universe back then because its leader, the black hole worm patriarch, personally took all the black hole worms away and hid them in the dimensional void. That's why no black hole worm has appeared in the universe ever since. The Emerald Master spoke of historical secrets. However, the ancient war was a battle of life and death for the entire universe. The black hole worm patriarch was forced to fight, but he couldn't defeat the abyssal demons and died tragically on the battlefield. As for its lair, the black hole worm's lair, it was hidden in the depths of the void and hadn't appeared for a long time. However, today it seems that after a spatial turbulence, the black hole worm's lair finally rushed out of the dimensional space and returned to the real world. Some demon sages calculated that the black hole worm's lair is about to enter the demon realm, which is a place near Jadeite City. Once the black hole worm's lair appears, the black hole worm inside will definitely appear. After countless years of reproduction, even if the black hole worm's reproductive ability is very poor, it should have given birth to many offspring. This is enough for us to fight for. As long as we can get one, we can develop and become rich. Its eyes revealed a greedy light, filled with desire. Of course I know all these things. Xia Ping pretended to know everything and didn't feel the slightest bit guilty. However, you still haven't told me what advantages you have. What is it that is worth me joining? Brother Wu, a straightforward person doesn't beat around the bush. I'll be honest. My Jadeite City indeed doesn't have any advantages, and it's insignificant compared to the other forces. Whether we can get the black hole worm or not is another matter. It can only depend on luck. The Emerald Master narrowed his eyes. However, Brother Wu, you have a deep background. Instead of relying on a large force, you ran to a poor and remote place like Jadeite City. I'm afraid you have some secret behind you. However, my Emerald Master's greatest advantage is that I never investigate the secrets of my friends. I get along with them as equals and I'm very tight-lipped. I'm a friend worth making. Tight-lipped is the greatest advantage. Many monsters don't trust you because they don't keep their mouths shut. Since the Emerald City Master said so, I have no reason to refuse. Xia Ping said lightly. Does that mean Brother Wu has agreed? The Emerald Master's eyes lit up. He had finally convinced this mysterious monster. This was a powerful helper. In order to get the black hole worm, a powerful helper was indispensable. Yes, I agree. Xia Ping nodded. In that case, let's meet at the City Lord's mansion tonight. I'll introduce some powerful monsters to Brother Wu. They are all good partners in fighting for the black hole worm. The Emerald Master made an invitation. Xia Ping naturally did not refuse. Chapter 1821. After a pleasant conversation, the Emerald Master and the two guards left. Why did you agree to join the Emerald Master? Tu Linglong frowned and asked. I feel that the Emerald Master is not a good demon. I'm afraid it's a trap for inviting you to join. Indeed, the Emerald Master is harboring evil intentions. The Green Phoenix nodded. She could sense people's hearts and knew that the Emerald Master, who seemed forthright and cheerful, was not as simple as he looked. He was very shrewd. Everyone has ulterior motives. This is not surprising. Xiaoping smiled. Moreover, joining them doesn't mean that I have to help them. They want to use me and I want to use them too. We're just using each other. Many forces seem to know about the black hole worm's appearance this time. If we don't get in touch with them, we probably won't even know where the black hole worm is or when it will appear. However, it's different if we join them. We can obtain a lot of information from them. Moreover, when everyone fights for the black hole worm, there will be a scapegoat. He mentioned the many benefits of joining the other party. Scapegoat? I knew you didn't have good intentions, but this does make sense. We still don't know who will be the final winner. Tu Linglong clenched her fists and felt that it made sense. It's best if you're confident. The Green Phoenix had no objections. As long as they got the black hole worm, everything else was secondary. The next night at the city lord's mansion, Xiaoping attended the banquet alone while Tu Linglong and the Green Phoenix stayed in the mansion to cultivate. After all, it was a gathering of mighty figures tonight, so it was not convenient for them to come. At this moment, many demons had already appeared in the city lord's mansion. At least with the naked eye, one could see 7 or 8 demons at the Lightning Tribulation realm. They were all helpers invited by the Emerald Master. Apart from that, there were also 70 to 80 demons at the Transcendence realm. Almost all the elites of the entire Emerald City had appeared in the City Lord's mansion. As soon as Xiaoping entered, he was immediately baptized by the gazes of countless demons. This was because he had become too famous in Emerald City recently. From the first day he had spent 1 billion demon coins, becoming the talk of Emerald City. Furthermore, the day before he had actually killed the Black Zephyr old monster and pinned his head to the entrance, thoroughly offending the 10,000 Demons Pavilion. His methods were extremely cruel and he was currently in the limelight. Even a Lightning Tribulation eminence paid close attention to Xiaoping. They wanted to know what abilities this mysterious demon had. Brother Wu, you came at the right time. Let me introduce you. At this time the Emerald Master saw Xiaoping and was very forthright. He immediately introduced, this is Brother Gu Jintong from the Black Bone race. He is very powerful. A skeleton wearing a black robe appeared in front of Xiaoping. It revealed a pair of pitch-black eyes, and the depths of its pupils seemed to flicker with a soul fire, emitting a heart-palpitating aura. Xiaoping could feel the tyrannical strength of this skeleton. It was as if every bone in its body was as strong as a high-grade spirit artifact. It was made up of countless bones and they were all one. This is the great elder of the demonic butterfly clan Daiyu. This is the great elder of the wind mosquito clan, Wenzheng. The Emerald Master continued to introduce the Lightning Tribulation eminences present. She introduced almost all the Lightning Tribulation eminences present. She also introduced quite a few other Transcendence eminences. Xiaoping nodded, indicating that he already knew them. By the way, the Emerald Master still wanted to introduce Xiaoping's name. City Lord, there's no need to introduce him. This is the recently famous Master Wu Taidu in Emerald City. Who doesn't know him now? At this time, a demon shouted, but no matter what, this is just a junior at the returning nature realm. I don't think this kid is qualified to join our team. When the time comes to fight for the black hole worm, this kid will be a burden. He might even cause us to rescue him and ruin our plan. It was very dissatisfied with Xiaoping's joining, so it directly refused. Xiaoping narrowed his eyes. The one who spoke was a dog demon. Its attribute was thunder, so it should be a thunder hound. It looked at Xiaoping with contempt, its eyes very arrogant. It also had the capital to be arrogant. It was a demon king at the peak of the Transcendence realm, and it also had the thunder attribute. Its attack power was extremely terrifying, and it could be said to be one of the best among the demons of the same level. Except for the Thunder Retribution realm powerhouses that were one level higher than it did not care about anyone. Brother Thunderhound, you can't say that. Brother Wu has already proven his strength. Even the famous Black Zephyr monster fell at his hands. The Emerald Master said. City Lord, I already know about this. The Thunderhound waved its hand. But who knows how this kid killed him? Maybe he used a powerful secret treasure to kill the Black Zephyr monster. This kind of thing is not uncommon. The problem is, how many of such secret treasures can there be? Maybe it's a one-time use and it's gone after it's used. That's why it's so powerful. If that's the case, this kid is a fake and he is not qualified to join us at all. Ah. Before it could finish speaking, suddenly, a fist force blasted toward it. It condensed into a solid substance and emitted endless heat, as if a sun had risen from the dark vacuum. Xiaoping attacked and directly punched it. Dong. The Thunderhound could not react at all because the speed of the fist force was too fast. In the next second, its whole body was hit by the fist, and it was directly sent flying. It slid across the ground for hundreds of meters, and a terrible crack appeared on the ground. In the end, it slammed into the wall of the city lord's mansion. Even though the entire city lord's mansion, every wall, and even every brick contained a tyrannical restriction array, at this moment, it could not withstand the impact and many cracks appeared on the walls. Puff! The Thunderhound was slammed into the wall, and the shock injured its lungs. It could not help but cough up blood, and even the hair on its body was burned by the flames. Even its wounds were roasted. It looked at Xiaoping in shock and anger. If it was not for its thick skin, it would have been killed by that punch just now. At that time, it would not even be able to cry. Many monsters were also shocked. They did not expect Master Wu to be so cruel. He dared to hurt a monster in the city lord's mansion in front of the city lord. How bold was he? Who else? Xiaoping stood with his hands behind his back and looked around at the monsters. Who else is not convinced and who doubts my strength? Immediately stand up and see if I can kill it. Kit, don't be too arrogant. You just took advantage of the monster. If it wasn't for the Thunderhound's carelessness, how could you have defeated it? If you have the guts, fight fair and square. Chapter 1822. Whoosh. Xiaoping did not even look at it. He slammed his palm down from the sky. Terrifying mana was contained in the depths of his palm, emitting frightening waves of mana. Small tricks. What kind of monster do you think I am? Once I'm prepared, a despicable monster like you who only knows how to sneak up on me can only eat my dust. The golden light leopard laughed coldly, as if it did not take Xiaoping seriously at all. But in the next second, its expression changed because it realized that this palm was extremely frightening. It was as if the palm contained a country. It was the palm of China. With one slap, it sealed the sky and locked the earth, forming an absolute space field around its body. It sealed all its escape routes and locked its aura. It's useless. Small tricks can't scare me. The golden light leopard roared. Since it could not escape, it would fight to the end. Among cultivators of the same level, it was never afraid of anyone with strength and attack power. Not to mention this was just a little monster at the returning nature realm. It did not care about it at all. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. In an instant, the golden light leopard turned into a solidified golden light and slammed towards the palm. It gathered an extremely strong attack power, indestructible and extremely frightening. But it was useless. When the golden light hit the palm, it was as if it had hit an iron wall. Its attack was no different from scratching its head. Dong. The golden light leopard could not withstand the power of the palm and was slammed into the ground, creating a huge pit with a diameter of tens of meters. Gravel flew everywhere, thick smoke billowed, and the ground was torn apart. It could not help but spit out a large mouthful of blood. Countless wounds appeared on its body, and blood sprayed everywhere like a fountain. The ground was almost dyed red with blood. This? The golden light leopard looked at Xiaoping in disbelief. It never thought that it would lose so badly. With just one palm, it was sent flying like a piece of trash and was seriously injured. Even the golden light magic that it was so proud of was like a piece of paper in front of this kid. It was a powerful cultivator at the peak of the Dharma realm. How could it be so weak? So strong. The surrounding demons were all shocked. They had all heard of Xiaoping's reputation and knew that he had killed the famous Black Zephyr. However, they all guessed that he might have used some kind of powerful treasure. But looking at it now, even without using any treasures, Master Potato was not inferior to any monster at the peak of the Dharma stage. All of a sudden, they no longer looked down on him and immediately raised Master Potato to an unprecedented height. The Emerald Master narrowed his eyes. He originally wanted to take the opportunity to explore Master Potato's strength, but he didn't expect the other party's strength to be beyond imagination. In fact, the monster from before was secretly arranged by him. Who else? Is there any other demon that isn't convinced? Xiaoping stood with his hands behind his back as he surveyed his surroundings. His eyes were like torches. Many demons avoided Xiaoping's gaze, not daring to look him in the eye. They were afraid that they would be targeted by this fiendish demon and end up like the golden light leopard and the others. For a moment, The entire hall of the city lord's mansion was shrouded in Xia Ping's fierce power. At this moment, a demon suddenly spoke. Hee, interesting. Master Potato, right? You have such a big tone and look invincible. Do you want to fight with me for a few moves? Many demons looked over and were all shocked. Because the one who spoke was a great demon of the Thunder Retribution realm, the Rock Tiger Demon. Its body was filled with a terrifying murderous aura. It seemed to be very unconvinced by Xia Ping's arrogance and wanted to suppress Xia Ping's arrogance. Oh, so it's the Rock Tiger Demon? You also want to fight with me? It's not impossible. You are a great demon of the Thunder Retribution realm. If I fight, I may not be able to control it. Later you may be killed by me like the Black Zephyr Demon. Do you want to try? Xia Ping narrowed his eyes and stared at the Rock Tiger Demon. The aura of the Golden Crow of Hell instantly broke out. Ancient, noble, chaotic, eternal and other auras filled the surroundings. Vaguely, all the demons present felt a palpitating aura from the depths of their blood. This was the behavior of inferior creatures when they encountered higher creatures. They had no power to resist and simply wanted to immediately crawl on the ground. Even the ground creaked from the pressure and cracks appeared on it. Many demons had the urge to run away. This was a threat and a declaration of death. Just like an emperor, if the emperor wanted his subjects to die, the subjects had no choice but to die. What? Feeling this aura, the Rock Tiger Demon's body shook. The murderous aura in its body immediately disappeared. It was fiercely suppressed by this terrifying ancient aura. It was clearly a great demon of the Thunder Retribution realm, while the opponent was only a demon of the late stage of the Returning Nature realm. However, it actually felt a terrifying sense of powerlessness in front of a demon saint. It seemed that as long as the demon in front of it wanted to, it could be completely obliterated. The Rock Tiger Demon was sweating profusely. It regretted so much that its intestines turned green. As a great demon of the Thunder Retribution realm, it immediately realized the gap between itself and the terrifying demon in front of it. If they really fought, it might die and follow in the footsteps of the Black Zephyr Demon. However, it was really hard to get off now. It was a great demon of the Thunder Retribution realm. If it retreated and admitted defeat now, wouldn't it lose a lot of face? It would become a laughing stock in the future. Which demon would look up to it? Brother Wu, please calm down. At this time the Emerald Lord immediately spoke and acted as a peacemaker. Just now Brother Rock Tiger Demon was a little impulsive, but it wasn't intentional. Moreover, now that we are facing a great enemy, the most important thing is to seize the Black Hole Worm. Why do we have to make waves now and cause internal divisions or even suffer losses? This is not worth the loss. It dissuaded Xia Ping. Alright, since the City Lord has said so, I will give you face. However, there will be no next time. Whoever dares to offend my dignity must die. Xia Ping snorted coldly. Of course. The Emerald Lord nodded repeatedly, but it was shocked in its heart. It originally wanted to test Xia Ping's strength, but it didn't expect the other party's strength to be so terrifying and unfathomable. In particular, when the other party's bloodline surged, it actually emitted an aura that even it was almost unable to resist. What kind of demon bloodline was this? Was he really a descendant of a divine beast? For a moment, it let its imagination run wild and had many speculations about Xia Ping. When the Rock Tiger Demon heard this, it immediately had a way out. It gave up this challenge and saved its face. At the same time, it looked at the Emerald Lord gratefully. If it wasn't for the Emerald Lord's help, it was afraid that even if it didn't die today, it would have lost a layer of skin. This kid is not simple. Chapter 1823. The banquet continued. Although there were some small interludes under the Emerald Master's skilled diplomatic skills, the many demons still got along very well. After all, everyone had the same goal and there were no differences. After 3 rounds of drinking, when the atmosphere reached a certain level, the Emerald Master suddenly opened his mouth and said to Xia Ping, Brother Wu, I heard that you sold 10 tons of crystal fragrant rice and obtained 1 billion demon coins to buy various things. Is this true? That is indeed true. Why are you asking this? Xia Ping nodded. I'm just a little curious. Why do you want to buy these useless things? Logically speaking, with Brother Wu's strength, you don't need these resources at all. Of course, if this is a secret, just pretend I didn't ask. The Emerald Master asked curiously. This is not a secret. The main reason I buy these things is to feel good. Xia Ping said casually. Demons live for nothing more than to feel good. Taking revenge is satisfying, getting promoted and getting rich is satisfying, becoming a sage is also satisfying, And the reason why I squandered money everywhere and bought all sorts of useless things is just to experience the feeling of squandering. Spending 1 billion in one go, don't you guys feel satisfied? This? The mouths of the demons twitched. They were speechless. They thought that Xiaoping had a deeper reason for doing these things. They didn't expect it to be so simple. It was just to squander, just to feel good. But they didn't think there was anything strange about it. That was because demon kings also had many quirks. Some were clearly land demon kings, but they always thought of themselves as birds. They always wanted to soar in the sky and build nests on trees. Some demon kings liked to stare at a point in the sky and would not move for almost 3 years. Some liked to drink and would not be happy without wine. These kinds of demon kings' quirks were everywhere. It was not surprising that demon kings like this liked to squander and spend money. If that's the case, if Brother Wu has extra crystal rice, can you sell some to me? Of course, if you want to buy all kinds of resources, Jadeite City also has them. The Emerald Master stated his purpose. The eyes of all the monsters lit up. That's right, if this kid liked to squander, why didn't he squander on them? They also had a lot of useless resources that they could sell to this kid. There was no need for them to pay at all. They could also earn this kind of money from other monsters and earn a lot of it. Most importantly, they also needed a top-grade spirit rice like the crystal fragrant rice. Even if they ate the crystal fragrant rice now, it wouldn't be of much use to their cultivation. However, they had their own families, organizations, and a large number of young monsters that needed to be nurtured. No matter what, crystal fragrant rice was an extremely important strategic resource. No demon would complain about having too much of it. Of course, no problem. I still have a lot on me. I'm just afraid that you won't be able to finish it all. Xiaoping didn't care at all. It didn't matter who he traded with. Moreover, if he traded with these great monsters, he could obtain more resources from the demon realm and save a lot of time. After all, Hailan Bazaar was just a shopping street. How could it compare to the power of these great monsters? Who knew how many resources they could mobilize with a single command? Of course I can. I can even eat plenty. The Emerald Master said excitedly. Its demand for such spirit rice was almost limitless. Moreover, even if he couldn't eat it, he could sell it to other cities at a high price. He wouldn't lose money at all and would instead make a huge profit. Brother Wu, can you sell me some crystal fragrant rice? That's right. I also have a lot of treasures on me. I can definitely exchange for them. City Lord, you can't eat it alone. We have to have a share too. Many demons stepped forward to express their intention to trade with Xiaoping. Even the Rock Tiger demon who had just made things difficult for Xiaoping came forward shamelessly. After all, compared to demon coins, face was nothing. Of course, no problem. Xiaoping was very rich. He didn't have much on him, but he had a lot of crystal fragrant rice. He sold these things to many demons, which was equivalent to dumping. He used a large number of cheap resources to exchange for many precious non-renewable resources in the demon realm. This was an extremely cost-effective trade. Moreover, he was different from when he first entered Jadeite City. With the power of killing old demon Black Wind and defeating a group of demons, his divine might had risen to the extreme. If an ordinary demon carried a large amount of crystal fragrant rice, it would be like a child carrying gold to the market and courting death. However, if it was a mighty figure who could kill a Thunder Tribulation Realm demon, it would be different. No matter how much crystal fragrant rice he had on him, it wouldn't attract the covetous eyes of others. They would only think that it was a matter of course. Hearing Xiaoping's words, many demons were very excited. They stopped holding banquets and directly traded with Xiaoping. Xiaoping didn't stand on ceremony and directly took out 10,000 tons of crystal fragrant rice. Hearing this number, many demons' eyes almost popped out. They didn't expect Xiaoping to have so much spirit rice on him. Even the Jadeite Master couldn't eat such a huge number. This was just right. They could join forces to eat it and could barely digest it. However, Xiaoping also made a request. He didn't want demon coins. He wanted to barter as much as possible. He wanted to buy a large number of ores, spirit herbs, pills, and so on. Many of the monsters became even more excited. To them, this was simply a huge profit. Not only could they buy the fragrant crystal rice, but they could also take the opportunity to dump those cheap mineral resources. How could there be such a transaction in this world? All of them felt too good. It was as if they had met the god of fortune. He was completely giving them money. In the face of such a good deal, even the Thunder Tribulation Realm great demons couldn't bear it. They expressed that they could also mobilize a large number of forces to buy various resources. After all, they had earned hundreds of millions of demon coins. No one would give up such a good deal. A few days later. At this moment, mountain-like resources had appeared in the space inside the mountain and river pearl. They almost covered a radius of thousands of kilometers. These were the materials traded from the demon realm. When Corinne and the Green Ox saw such treasures, they couldn't stop smiling. Using the food at the bottom of the cabin to buy so many resources was really a very cost-effective deal. Awesome. Xiaoping was very satisfied. The demon realm was indeed his paradise. With these resources he could set up too many formations, refine countless treasures, and even transform his old nests in Cloud Continent and planet Yanhuang. In short, these resources had too many uses. Dong. Suddenly one morning the entire Jadeite city shook fiercely. The area within a radius of tens of thousands of miles was shaking, and strange phenomena appeared. Chapter 1824. For a moment, all the mighty figures in Jadeite city were shocked. This vibration is the arrival of the hive in the demon realm. That's right, I can sense that savage aura. It's indeed the black hole worm. Move out immediately. If we're late, who knows how many mighty figures will arrive. We won't even have any leftovers. The demon monarchs of Jadeite city were extremely excited. They had waited for such a long time, and the black hole worm had finally appeared. All of them were extremely excited and immediately moved out. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. In an instant, they immediately flew out of their seclusion and gathered at the City Lord mansion. The black hole worm has appeared. Let's go too. Xiaoping naturally sensed the situation and quickly set off. He would not fall behind these demon monarchs. Tu Linglong and Blue Wan were also very excited. They could finally see the light of completion of their mission. After a few breaths, Xiaoping arrived at the City Lord mansion with Tu Linglong and Blue Wan. At this moment, there were hundreds of demon monarchs gathered in the City Lord mansion. The City Lord Emerald Master was also among them. Let's go. Emerald Master did not waste any time and immediately set off toward the place where the black hole worm had appeared. This was not the time for small talk. If they were a step late, the black hole worm might be snatched away by other demon monarchs. They did not have time to waste here. Hearing this, the demon monarchs moved quickly and flew away from Jadeite city. After several hours, they finally approached the place where the black hole worm had appeared. This is the hive. It's spectacular. The demon monarchs approached the hive, and all of them widened their eyes in amazement. Xiaoping also looked over and found that a huge hive had appeared in front of him. It had descended from the void and spanned billions of kilometers. There was no end in sight. Its appearance looked like a huge beehive with many black holes. The surroundings were filled with a rich spatial aura and surging spatial turbulence. This hive even seemed to be connected to the depths of the void, absorbing the surrounding void power and emitting an unfathomable aura. It was like a huge war fortress. Indistinctly, a transparent spatial barrier appeared around the hive, forming an absolute spatial defense. It seemed that no one could enter it no matter where they went. That's right, this is Patriarch Black Hole's hive. Emerald Master's eyes were burning. He could not wait to rush in and snatch the black hole worm. But this bug nest isn't simple. There are spatial barriers everywhere. How do we break through? Some demon monarchs were very calm. They wanted to find a way to enter the nest. What's the point of going in? We'll just have to fight our way in and destroy all the spatial barriers. An ox demon king sneered. Without saying a word, it charged towards the insect nest and unleashed its supreme demonic power. A black bull horn appeared, condensed from demonic energy. Densely packed bull runes appeared on its surface, emitting a sharp, destructive and terrifying aura, as if it could tear apart the void. Dong. In an instant, the black horn slammed into the insectoid nest. Ah! Suddenly, the ox demon king let out a shrill scream. This attack was useless against the spatial barrier, and the barrier was not damaged at all. It was as if the ox demon king had slammed into an impenetrable wall, producing a terrifying recoil. With a cracking sound, the bull horn on its body actually broke apart, and the terrifying rebounding force injured its lungs, sending its huge body flying. It coughed up blood in midair, having suffered quite a bit of injury. No way, a Thunder Tribulation Realm demon monarch's all-out attack actually couldn't break this spatial barrier? That's to be expected. Patriarch Black Hole is a demon sage after all. How can a nest he personally built be so extraordinary? How can it be broken so easily? Indeed, a demon sage is a demon sage. Even though it has been dead for countless years, its power cannot be underestimated. But how should we enter this bug nest? Many demon monarchs frowned as they looked at the huge black bug nest, thinking of a way to enter. If they couldn't even enter the bug nest, how could they obtain the black hole worm? Don't worry everyone. I already know how to enter. At this time the Emerald Lord said, although this bug nest is heavily guarded and cannot be destroyed by ordinary forces, it is still a place where Patriarch Black Hole Worm was placed. It is equivalent to a city, so there are naturally entrances and exits. The so-called entrances and exits are the spatial coordinates of this bug nest. As long as we find these spatial coordinates, we can enter the bug nest at will. It indicated that they needed to find the spatial coordinates of the bug nest before they could freely enter and exit this place. However, these spatial coordinates were hidden all around the bug nest, hidden in the depths of the void. It was very difficult to find them, so it hoped that the demon monarchs would work together and use their divine senses to scan the area and carry out a carpet search. This was a difficult task that required a lot of time. Whoever could find the spatial coordinates first would have the initiative to find the black hole worm. Spatial coordinates? Is it this thing? Just as the Emerald Lord finished speaking, Xiaoping suddenly spoke. His figure flashed and he approached the bug nest. He reached out with his hand, and the void permeated, instantly grabbing a ball of black energy from the depths of the void. This ball of black energy was very strange. It was condensed into a solid form like a gel. No matter how one squeezed it, it would return to its original state. However, when the demon monarch's divine senses penetrated it, they were shocked to find that there were coordinates in the depths of this ball of black energy. There was a dark and deep spatial tunnel that seemed to connect to the deepest part of the bug nest. That's right, this is the spatial coordinates of the bug nest. Heavens, how did you find it? How did you find it so quickly? The Emerald Lord was dumbfounded. It originally thought that it would take a lot of time to find the spatial coordinates of the bug nest, but who would have thought that before it could finish speaking, Xiaoping would find it in an instant? The demon monarchs also looked at Xiaoping, dumbfounded. It's nothing. My providence is unparalleled in the world, so I found it easily. I grabbed it casually and the spatial coordinates naturally came to me. Xiaoping stood with his hands behind his back, looking like he was the son of providence. This was nothing. He had not found it himself, but the spatial coordinates had come to him on their own. In fact, he had used the Hell Golden Crow's eye to see through the void to quickly find the location of the spatial coordinates, so he could easily capture it. However, the other demon monarchs did not know this and thought that what Xiaoping said was true. All of them were so jealous that their intestines turned green. Fuck, how could this guy be so lucky? The spatial coordinates even came to him on their own. Was there still justice in this world? Chapter 1825. Brother Wu, you are really lucky. I didn't expect you to find this space coordinate so easily, and it is also with Brother Wu. The Jade Master smiled insincerely. It was also very jealous. How could there be such a monster in the world? It was too unreasonable. With such heaven-defying luck, didn't it mean that all the treasures in the world were drilling into this bastard's hands? What effort was needed? As long as he stayed at home, wouldn't he automatically get countless treasures? When it thought of how much effort it had put in to obtain a few treasures, but this brat had effortlessly turned misfortune into fortune and picked up the treasures from the cliff, it couldn't help but feel angry. How could there be such a huge gap between demons? However, on the surface, it still expressed admiration and did not show its jealousy at all. It showed a congratulatory look. After all, Xiaoping got the space coordinate, which was also good for them. You are welcome. In the future, if you follow me, I will eat and I guarantee that you will drink. It is no problem to eat until your brain is full of fat. Xiaoping said carelessly, patting his chest, showing the style of a leading big brother. The Emerald Master was so angry that his teeth itched. This bastard said these words to show that he was planning to suppress him. Who didn't know that he was the leader this time? This Master Mateto clearly wanted to take the lead. The corners of many Monster Kings' mouths twitched. This young monster was too arrogant. He just found a space coordinate and he actually wanted to be their boss and ride on their heads. It was just a little monster of the returning nature realm. Even if it was powerful, had a big background and had many trump cards, they were still Monster Kings. How could it be so easy to surrender? But they were all very shrewd monsters. Naturally, they would not show their dissatisfaction. Anyway, they were not the boss, the Jade Master was. If there was any trouble, it would definitely be the Jade Master who would take the lead. Haha, Junior, thank you. I didn't expect our luck to be so good. We just came and found the space coordinates of the bug nest. Give it to me and I will spare your dog life. All of a sudden, an arrogant voice boomed out like a thunderclap, causing the void to tremble and causing the expressions of all the Monster Kings present to change as their eardrums started to hurt. Then an illusory figure suddenly appeared behind Xia Ping. It was sinister and cunning, and a palm shot out. Instantly, a terrifying stream of air condensed into a giant palm, exuding an ancient, oppressive, submissive, imperial and other auras. It was as if the enemy had no choice but to submit. It was extremely domineering. The surrounding demon kings were all astonished. They could feel that this palm contained the true essence of wind. In this world there was only one primordial overlord left. It walked out from the primal chaos and no power could resist it. If they were under this palm, they would instantly turn into powder and cease to exist. Courting death. Xia Ping coldly snorted. Sensing the threat of this palm, he suddenly attacked and punched out. Martial arts divine ability, Yang God Fist. Immediately, under the endless storm, the terrifying power of flames in his body surged out. It was as if a flaming divine bird rose up and quickly gathered on his fist. In an instant, the sky shook and the void trembled. Dazzling sunlight descended, tearing apart the dark sky and destroying all dark energy. It covered the sky and covered the earth, and it was the only one. This attack was as if a sun was held in one's hand, and then instantly smashed out. The fist technique imbued with the power of flames, as if it was an eternal light. Dong. The fist smashed into the giant palm of wind, instantly piercing through the storm and burning the universe. Every inch of the storm was shattered under this terrifying fist force, turning into nothingness. With a swoosh, the storm dissipated, and suddenly, a young monster in a white robe appeared in the distance. He looked handsome and feminine, and his eyes revealed a sinister look that made people shudder. A junior in the late stage of the returning truth realm can actually withstand my Wind Emperor palm? This is one of the ultimate skills of Storm City. What is your background? The young monster in the white robe looked at Xia Ping with a little surprise. It's none of your business. Xia Ping squinted at him. You actually dare to sneak attack me. You have guts. Do you know that if you anger me, Master Wu Taidu, your whole family will be exterminated? Hurry up and kowtow to apologize. Do you want your whole family to be exterminated? He arrogantly ordered the young monster in the white robe to kneel down and apologize. Dog. Hearing this, the young monster in the white robe was half dead with anger. What bullshit, Master Wu Taidu? I've never even heard of a little monster. Trash, how dare you be so arrogant with me, Feng Ganglai, and want to exterminate my whole family? Emerald Master, this is your way of governing. Hurry up and take care of your dog. Does your Emerald City want to face the anger of Storm City? He was almost mad with anger. One had to know that he was the son of the Storm City Master, Feng Ganglai. His talent was unparalleled. In a short span of 12,000 years, he had cultivated to the early stage of the Thunder Retribution realm. He was comparable to the older generation of monsters. Not to mention his identity, even his cultivation was earth-shattering. It was enough to dominate the monster world. Under his majesty, ordinary monsters would tremble and not dare to move. They were so scared that they crawled down. But now, a little monster in the returning truth realm, a nobody who came out of nowhere, dared to go against him, asking him to kneel down and apologize, or else he would exterminate his whole family. This kind of humiliation was something he had never experienced before. It was simply a slap in the face, making him lose face in front of so many monsters. What kind of humiliation was this? To be honest, at this moment, Feng Ganglai had the urge to kill and tear apart this Master Wu Taidu, his friends, his family, and even his clansmen. The son of the Storm City Master, Feng Ganglai? Hearing this, many of the monster kings were shocked. Their faces were ashen, especially the Emerald Master. His face was extremely ugly. It was an earthy yellow color, as if he had eaten shit. Because Storm City was the most powerful monster city within 10 light years. The Wind Demon clan lived in it. They were tyrannical and incomparable. It was really the kind of monster kings that were like rain. Legend had it that it had the support of a demon saint. That was a real big monster, a big race, the kind that could do whatever they wanted in the monster world. As for Emerald City, it was just one of the billions of cities in the monster world. It was just a small place, a small village. How could it be compared to a super overlord like Storm City? If such a big character was offended, perhaps Emerald City would be turned into powder in an instant. It would die in the anger of the many monster kings of Storm City. How could the Emerald Master not be afraid? It was obvious that Master Wu Taidu had provoked a super strong enemy for his Emerald City for no reason. Damn, this was purely an undeserved disaster. Chapter 1826. Apologize. Hearing this, Feng Ganglai laughed coldly and said, "He offended me, Feng Ganglai. Do you think a simple apology will suffice? Of course you can apologize on his behalf, but can you die on his behalf?" He was extremely rude and overbearing. An apology alone could not calm his anger at all. This. The Emerald King was speechless. He had nothing to say. An apology was just a matter of a sentence, but death could not replace it. He was not that generous. "Apologize my ass." Xiaoping cursed. "You're just a country monster, a native. You don't know the immensity of heaven and earth. How dare you be so arrogant here? What bullshit Storm City? I've never even heard of it. To tell you the truth, the Emerald King is my friend, a friend of life and death. His business is my business. If you dare to touch a hair of the Emerald City, I will not let you off. In other words, Storm City is finished, completely finished. Do you understand?" He showed a protective look. It was clear that the Emerald City was under his protection, and the other monsters could not be touched. Hearing this, the Emerald King's face turned green, completely green. This bastard really touched my sore spot. The Emerald City was fine, why did it need this guy's protection? Moreover, with this guy's words, the Emerald City was tied to the same chariot as Master Mateto. At the same time, it would also be hated by the young master of Storm City. Even if it was not shit, it was shit. Fuck, this guy was clearly a scourge. When he went out, he picked up treasures. What about the Emerald King? When he went out, he stepped on shit. The difference was too big. This was an unexpected disaster. Country monster? Native? Hearing this, Feng Ganglai was completely enraged. "Master Mateto, how dare you humiliate me? Feng Ganglai humiliate Storm City like this. From now on, I, Feng Ganglai, and Storm City will fight to the death with you, Master Mateto. Someone immediately come out and investigate this Master Mateto's background. Who are his friends, who are his relatives, who are his clansmen? Investigate everything clearly. Once you find out, capture them immediately and kill them all. Don't leave a single one alive. I want this arrogant brat to pay a bloody price. I want all the demons in the demon realm to know the consequences of offending me, Feng Ganglai, and kill the chicken to scare the monkey." It was so angry that it roared. As the young master of Storm City, his position was high and he was equivalent to the crown prince of a country. He had many subordinates and powerful beings. Once he unleashed his might, the sky and earth would change, the earth would shake, mountains would collapse, and tsunamis would occur. Now that there was a demon that dared to humiliate it like this, it would not be able to quell its unyielding anger if it did not kill until blood flowed like a river and the entire city fell silent. This was what it meant when the emperor was enraged, millions of corpses would fall. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. As soon as he finished speaking, hundreds of demon kings appeared behind Feng Ganglai, forming a huge demon formation. Demonic chi shot into the sky, and dark clouds covered the sky. It was as if they had been lying in ambush all along, waiting for Feng Ganglai's command. As the young master of Storm City, it was impossible for him to travel without bodyguards. "It's over." Seeing so many demon kings from Storm City appear, the faces of the Emerald Master and the other demons turned green. They had not even entered the nest, and they had not expected to encounter such a disaster. They had provoked a colossus like Storm City. They were really down on their luck for 8 lifetimes. One by one, the demon kings glared at Xiaoping fiercely. They wanted nothing more than to tear this fellow into pieces. If not for this fellow's big mouth, this would not have happened. The Emerald Master stepped forward. He still wanted to negotiate with Feng Ganglai and keep the peace. After all, they had not found the black hole worm yet, and they could not afford to lose manpower here. But before the Emerald Master could speak, Xiaoping spoke and shouted, "You want to bully the few with more demons? What a joke. In the demon realm, strength is everything, and numbers do not give you any advantage. You are just a bunch of small fries. My friend can beat up dozens of you at any time. No matter how many come, they will all die. Isn't it just a fight to the death? If we dare to frown and retreat, we won't be able to have children in the future." What? Hearing this, many of the demon kings were furious. They wanted to immediately sew up this bastard's mouth. At this time he actually dared to provoke the other party with such a big mouth. He was afraid that they would not die fast enough. The Emerald Master was also so angry that he could not speak. This time they were all finished. After saying such words, he estimated that no matter what he said, he would not be able to salvage the situation. This young city lord of Storm City definitely regarded him as a mortal enemy. There was no possibility of negotiation. Sure enough, when Feng Ganglai heard this, he flew into a rage and shouted, "Kill with me. Kill this little bastard Master Potato and snatch the spatial coordinates of the nest back. He instantly attacked and his whole body turned into a hurricane. It was as if he was the ruler of the wind, the incarnation of the wind, the emperor of the wind. This was a wind demon. Bloodline mystical ability, corrosive storm. In an instant, a black storm surged out from Feng Gonglia's body. With his body as the center, it quickly spread hundreds of kilometers, like a storm raging in all directions. When this black storm surged over, Xiaoping narrowed his eyes. He clearly felt the terror of this black storm. It contained the aura of destruction, slaughter, corrosion, and so on. Along the way, the ground was rapidly corroded. Mountains were quickly melted, and even the earth seemed to be corroded into black swamps. Bang bang bang. And the few demon kings at the front were caught off guard and touched this corrosive storm. Suddenly they felt a warm wind hit them, covering their whole bodies. Immediately their bodies quickly withered. Even the protective magic treasures on their bodies could not resist this corrosive power. Their whole bodies melted and even their bones were corroded, quickly turning into a pool of blood. Feng Ganglai, you have gone too far. Suddenly the Emerald Master and the other demon kings were angry. They had been bullied to this extent, even if they did not want to resist, they had no choice. After all, the other party clearly intended to kill them. Black Bone Jungle. The great elder of the Black Bone clan made a move. With a wave of his hand, a dense demonic aura appeared, and countless black bones were born from the void, forming a huge black bone jungle. It was like a cage trapping Feng Ganglai, bewitching all beings. The great elder of the demon butterfly clan was not to be outdone. His body shook, and an aura actually spread out, covering tens of thousands of kilometers in an instant. The surrounding void distorted, creating a huge environment. Immediately he split into millions and appeared in front of the many demon kings. His body was beautiful and he exuded an unparalleled charm. He let out a chuckle, causing one's mind to sway and become dazed. Mosquitoes devour the world. The great elder of the Wind Mosquito clan laughed. He controlled the air and his whole body turned into a phantom, appearing in front of the many demon kings in front of him. A blood-colored straw appeared in his hand. This was a peerless spirit weapon, blood-devouring needle. Chapter 1827. Other than that, the other demon kings also used their own abilities. They didn't want to be killed by Feng Ganglai and the other demon kings. Demon race god arts blasted down one after another, forming a storm that attacked Feng Ganglai and the other demon kings. The surrounding tens of thousands of kilometers became a huge battlefield. So powerful. Tu Linglong and Qing Wan, who were hiding inside the mountain river pearl, widened their eyes. This was the first time they saw so many demon kings fighting. This was simply a battle of god arts between top-notch demon kings. Being able to see so many demon monarchs battle in advance and sense the usage of every bloodline divine ability was greatly beneficial to their cultivation. For a moment, they were immersed in a faintly discernible state of comprehension, as though they had comprehended something. Stubborn fool. You think you can fight against me, the wind demon, with just a little trick? You overestimate yourself. Today I, Feng Ganglai, will let you know what it means to have limitless powers and limitless powers. Feeling the bombardment of these god arts, Feng Ganglai snorted coldly. He was unmoved. He waved his hand, and the hundreds of demon kings immediately formed a large formation. He lived in the middle of the formation. In an instant, the violent magic power of these hundreds of demon kings formed a formation and infused it into Feng Ganglia's body, making him the core of the formation. He was strengthened by endless magic power. Feng Ganglia's magic power and aura were rising steadily. He seemed to have reached the peak of the lightning tribulation realm, and he faintly communicated with the lightning tribulation. The sky changed colors and ripples appeared in the void. Dong dong dong. At this moment, the Jade Master and the other demon king's god arts blasted down, all bombarding Feng Ganglia's body. Instantly, countless holes appeared on Feng Ganglia's body. It was as if his body had been torn into pieces, and there was no longer a complete shape. However, with just a little bit of magic power, countless air currents gathered in the depths of the void, and the originally tattered Wind Demon King's body quickly recovered. It was unharmed, as if nothing had happened. Even its aura was even more terrifying, producing the pressure of a big demon king, making people tremble. Damn, this is the body of a wind demon. The Emerald Master's expression was extremely ugly as he recognized the power of the fierce wind divine art. This kind of body is formless and colorless, and it is traceless. Normal martial power cannot harm it at all. This is because the essence of a wind demon is wind. Normal attacks are useless against a wind demon. Only soul attacks can harm the wind demon and kill it. This was why the wind demon was so terrifying and why Storm City was so powerful. It was precisely because of this special characteristic of wind demons that allowed wind demons to run amok in the demon world. They were invincible, and ordinary demons could only submit to their rule without daring to resist. After all, ordinary attacks were useless, which put the wind demon in an invincible position, even though she knew that only soul attacks could kill her opponent. However, how many demons were proficient in soul divine arts? Furthermore, for a soul divine art to be effective, one's soul power had to be stronger than the wind demons. This condition was extremely harsh, which resulted in not many demons being a match for the wind demon. Haha, a bunch of idiots. Come on, keep it up. You want to harm me, Feng Ganglai, with your little tricks? You must be dreaming. Even if I stand here without moving, you won't be able to harm a single hair on my head. Feng Ganglai laughed out loud. He was extremely arrogant, thinking that he was invincible. The Emerald Master and the other demon kings had extremely ugly expressions. Although they were unwilling to admit it, it was not without reason that Storm City could become the local overlord. This divine art alone was enough to crush many demon kings. I am the ruler of the wind, the emperor of the wind. Anyone who dares to disobey me must die. He sneered and formed a seal with both hands. Countless wind runes appeared from his body. Wind of dizziness. In an instant, waves of gray air spread out from fierce wind demon's body, instantly enveloping the area within a radius of thousands of kilometers. All the demons within the range of this gray hurricane felt dizzy. Wind of freezing. Waves of white air currents gushed out as if there was a snowstorm. They contained terrifying coldness, and as they blew past, they froze everything within 30,000 kilometers, freezing the ground. Wind of blazing flames. This was the air that blew from the depths of the volcanoes, carrying the endless power of flames. It was as if supervolcanoes had erupted, bringing about terrifying destruction. Wind of lightning. Black holes appeared in the depths of the void, and countless purple air currents descended. The hurricane blew like a lightning tribulation, destroying everything and containing unparalleled destructive power. Countless illusory air currents erupted at the same time, sweeping through the 9 heavens and 10 earths, enveloping the Emerald Master and the other demon kings. It was as if the terrifying air currents were going to completely destroy this world. It's over. The Emerald Master and the other demon kings' faces were ashen. They could sense the terrifying power of the hurricane crushing over. This time they would probably suffer countless casualties. Even if they were lucky enough to escape, they would definitely be seriously injured. They probably wouldn't be able to obtain the following black hole worm. They regretted so much that their intestines turned green. If they had known this would happen, they wouldn't have invited this prodigal Master Mutato. They hadn't even entered the worm nest, and they had already provoked such a powerful enemy, causing them to fall into such a predicament. If there was a chance to turn back time, they would want to immediately strangle Master Mutato, this scourge of demons. You want to kill my life and death friend? Feng Ganglai, you're a little too arrogant. Have you asked me, Master Mutato? At this moment, Xiaoping attacked. If he attacked again, most of their team would probably be killed by Feng Ganglai. He wouldn't allow this to happen. Primordial Heavenly Dragon Talisman. Boom. The sky within a radius of hundreds of thousands of kilometers darkened, and dark clouds covered the sky. Primordial heavenly dragons emerged from the void, and there were a total of 46 of them. The appearance of these 46 primordial heavenly dragons simply covered the sky and the earth, emitting a dragon's might that was incomparable to the dark clouds. Their aura swept through the world and all the low-level creatures trembled. This was the suppression from their bloodline. What? Feng Ganglai was originally still arrogant, and his expression was ferocious. He wanted to kill the Emerald Master and the other demon kings in one fell swoop, but he suddenly felt the aura of these primordial heavenly dragons. He was immediately shocked and frantically retreated, not daring to attack again. Because he felt a fatal killing intent, he exploded inch by inch. If he still dared to be arrogant, he would most likely be killed here, and there would be no possibility of survival. Before Feng Ganglai could react, the 46 primordial heavenly dragons attacked at the same time. The heavenly dragons stretched out their claws, and all the air currents in the world shrank. It was as if these giant claws filled the world and nothing could contain them. Boom. Chapter 1828. Impossible, primordial heavenly dragon talisman? This is a treasure left behind by the dragon clan in various parts of the universe. It would be a great fortune for an ordinary demon to obtain one. You actually obtained so many. Where did you find them? Feng Ganglai was also a knowledgeable person. He immediately recognized that this was the famous primordial heavenly dragon talisman. The talisman was filled with sacred, vast, noble, invincible, and other auras. This kind of heavenly dragon aura was extremely frightening. It was like the apex of the food chain. A slight pressure from the aura would cause his soul to tremble, almost immobilizing him. Primordial heavenly dragon talisman? The Emerald Master and the other demon kings who escaped from certain death also widened their eyes and looked at Xia Ping in disbelief. They suddenly realized something and thought of Black Wind Old Demon's death. So that was the case. He actually had a supreme treasure like the primordial heavenly dragon talisman. It was no wonder that he could easily kill Black Wind Old Demon. The primordial heavenly dragon talisman was famous and indeed had such power. But when they thought of how Xia Ping only attacked when they were about to be killed by Feng Ganglai, they guessed that he might have wanted to show them his strength. Their faces darkened. They had to admit that they were indeed shocked. This young demon was extremely fierce. How did you find it? It's none of your business, country demon. Xia Ping did not bother to talk nonsense with Feng Ganglai. He formed seals with both hands and controlled the primordial heavenly dragon talisman to attack Feng Ganglai. It had to be said that after obtaining Black Wind Old Demon's 18 primordial heavenly dragon talismans, the power of these talismans had suddenly increased by several times. It was much more tyrannical than before. Every movement of these talismans contained great power. When they were completely activated, there was really a trace of the aura of the primordial heavenly dragon awakening from chaos. Country demon? Master Mateto, you dare to humiliate me? So what if you have the primordial heavenly dragon talisman? Your realm is not high enough and your dermic powers are not enough. How can you control it? Watch how I destroy you. Feng Ganglai shouted angrily and ordered the hundreds of demon kings to attack. They formed an array and infused their dermic powers. Immediately, the mana on its body burned wildly. It was as if the endless airflow between heaven and earth had gathered at its center of gravity, forming a huge whirlpool of airflow. With its body as the center, a radius of several tens of thousands of kilometers turned into a terrifying storm, and its location was the center of the storm. Dimensional worlds in the depths of the void opened up one after another, pouring in boundless dimensional energy. One after another, wind elemental spell formations appeared and strengthened Feng Ganglai's body. Vaguely, his body was covered with countless layers of astral winds, forming the boundary of the wind god. Under the cover of the wind god's enchantment, Feng Ganglai's body seemed to be covered with layers of terrifying spatial barriers. He was indestructible and stronger than any iron wall. However, the 46 primordial sky dragons attacked at the same time. The sky dragon clawed out and the terrifying power of the sky dragon gathered in the center as it clawed at Feng Ganglai. Dong. The wind god barrier on Feng Ganglai's body immediately exploded. It was torn apart inch by inch, unable to block the primordial heavenly dragon talisman at all. This was the heavenly dragon's claw. It traversed through the void, traversing through the ages, looking down on everything in the world. Ah ah ah. Immediately, Feng Ganglai let out a shrill scream. He felt as though every inch of his nerves had shattered. His entire body was invaded by the power of the sky dragon and was being destroyed in a frenzy. Every inch of his muscles, every bone, and even every cell felt as though they were being bitten by the sky dragon. Even his soul was suppressed by the dragon's might and was about to collapse. If this continued, he would definitely be blasted to death by the claw. As for the many demon kings behind him, they could not withstand the might of the claw. The array immediately collapsed and shattered inch by inch. Energy constantly exploded, producing earth-shattering sounds. Many demon kings from Stormwind City let out shrill cries. Unable to withstand the backlash of the array breaking, they directly exploded into pieces and turned into a pile of meat paste. No good, I have to escape. Burn my bloodline, Skyfiend disintegration. Come out, wind of concealment. At this moment, Feng Ganglai, who felt a fatal crisis, bit his tongue and spat out a mouthful of blood. The bloodline in his body began to burn crazily, and his lifespan was being depleted rapidly. The blood in his body disappeared at a speed visible to the naked eye. Every meridian was broken and collapsed. His originally black hair had actually turned white, and his body was filled with a grayish-white, declining aura. He was like a dying old man. At this moment of life and death, In order to resist the power of the immemorial heavenly dragon talisman, Feng Ganglai actually used his bloodline and his lifespan as the price to display the supreme escape technique of the Wind Demon clan, Wind of Concealment. If he did this, he would lose at least 3,000 years of his lifespan, causing irreparable damage. It might even cause his cultivation to regress, making it difficult for him to advance. Such a loss was unimaginable. However, Feng Ganglai had no choice but to do this, because if he did not escape now, he would die in the hands of the immemorial heavenly dragon talisman. If he escaped now, he would still have a chance to make a comeback in the future and recover his lifespan. However, if he did not escape now, he would die in the hands of Master Mateto now. Therefore, by doing this, he still had a chance of survival. Die now or die in the future. Feng Ganglai instantly made a decision. He could be considered an extremely decisive demon king. Swoosh. Suddenly, countless vortexes appeared on Feng Ganglai's body, devouring the power of space. Many spatial runes appeared on the surface of his body, and in just a few breaths he actually turned into a transparent spatial airflow. In the next second he quickly escaped, leaving this dangerous battlefield. Quick, chase after him. Feng Ganglai is trying to escape. The expressions of the Emerald Master and the other demon kings changed. They could see that Feng Ganglai wanted to escape, so they immediately wanted to chase after him and kill him here and now. After all, Feng Ganglai was the young city lord of Storm City. If such a strong enemy escaped, he would definitely take revenge in the future. At that time, it would be a disaster for Emerald City. Therefore they had to kill Feng Ganglai here and eliminate him at the roots. They had to eradicate this scourge so that Storm City would not be able to find the murderer even if they wanted to. However, Feng Ganglai's speed was really too fast. He turned into a spatial airflow and escaped into the depths of the void. It was not something that the Emerald Master and the other demon kings could catch up to. Xia Ping could catch up, but he did not make a move. He let Feng Ganglai escape because he needed Feng Ganglai to be alive. Only with Feng Ganglai alive would the Emerald Master and the other demon kings be on the same boat as him and not dare to betray him. Moreover, he was not worried about Feng Ganglai's revenge. After all, he could not stay in the demon realm forever. Once he obtained the black hole worm, he would leave. Why would he worry about the forces of Storm City? Therefore, allowing Feng Ganglai to escape would only bring Xia Ping benefits and no harm at all. Master Mateto, just you wait. I will remember you. Obviously, Feng Ganglai was very unwilling. Even if he escaped, he had to leave behind some harsh words. Chapter 1830. This is the nest? After a few breaths, Xia Ping passed through the spatial tunnel and entered the nest. Suddenly he found himself in a dark vacuum. It was like a starry sky and there were many large planets around him. Fortunately, he had already advanced to the returning nature realm and condensed his essence soul, so he could survive in a vacuum. Otherwise, he would probably die from lack of oxygen the moment he entered the nest. No living beings? However, Xia Ping scanned with his divine sense and found that there were no signs of living beings living on these planets. They were completely uninhabited planets, and there were not even any plants on them. They were bare and lifeless. The problem was, this was the nest, which could be considered the base camp of the black hole worms. There should be many black hole worms, so why did it look barren? If that was the case, where did the black hole worms live? The Emerald Lord seemed to see through Xia Ping's doubts and said, Brother Wu, the black hole worms don't live on these planets, but in unique dimensional black holes. This is their unique nest. As for why these planets appeared here, it's probably because the black hole worms devoured space energy and opened up wormholes everywhere, inadvertently bringing the planets in the universe into the nest. Dimensional black holes? According to what you said, where do the black hole worms live? Can we find them? Xia Ping asked. Of course. Do you see in front? There's a nest tunnel there. It might be a nest dug by the black hole worms themselves. The Emerald Lord pointed at the vacuum in front of them. There was a black hole the size of a bucket. It was deep and dark, like a spatial tunnel with no end in sight. According to the Emerald Lord, the black hole worms were maverick creatures and did not like to live in groups. They might still live in their mother's nest when they were young, but once they grew up and had independent hunting abilities, they would leave their mother's nest and create their own nest. In fact, if Patriarch Black Insect hadn't used his supreme powers to capture all of these black hole worms and place them in his nest, these solitary black hole worms would probably still be scattered all over the universe and never come into contact with each other. Let's go. There might be a black hole worm there. Some demon king's eyes lit up with excitement. They moved instantly and used their extreme speed, hoping to seize the initiative. They rushed into the black hole, trying to capture the black hole worm inside and completely refine it. Whoosh. Immediately, 5 or 6 demon monarchs rushed into the black hole. They immediately discovered that there was a boundless spatial world inside the black hole. However, they soon discovered that this spatial world was not as simple as it seemed. It was a world of pure lava. Terrifying flames burned everywhere. It was like a world of flames. Ah. Damn it, there's no black hole worm here. It's a trap, a trap. Save us, save us. Emerald Master, save us. No, 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 we don't want to die. We don't want to die. Quick, demons, save us. Instantly, these demon kings let out shrill screams. Their entire bodies were covered in lava, and flames were burning everywhere. If it were an ordinary flame, the demon kings wouldn't care about it at all. However, this was no ordinary flame. It was a terrifying deviant flame that came from the depths of the dimension. It contained immense destructive power. They immediately issued a cry for help, hoping that Xia Ping and the others would come to their rescue. However, this happened too quickly. Xia Ping and the others couldn't save them in time. Even if they could, they didn't have any intention of helping. After all, these demon monarchs had impure intentions. They clearly wanted to be the first to snatch the black hole worm. Why would they help these idiots who wanted to monopolize the black hole worm? In just an instant, these demon monarchs were burned to death by the flames. They let out shrill screams. Even their souls were burned to ashes by the flames. These demon monarchs were originally existences who could summon the wind and summon the rain in the demon realm. Now they were dead. They couldn't even struggle. Seeing this scene, many demon monarchs were terrified. They immediately realized that this place was no paradise. It was a tiger's den where they could die at any time. What's going on? Didn't they say that this is the nest of the black hole worm? Why is it a trap? Xia Ping narrowed his eyes and stared at the Emerald Master. He felt that this demon was very sinister. He deliberately said these things and hid the key information. His goal was to send some greedy demons to their deaths. Those brothers are too anxious. I haven't finished speaking yet. It's such a pity. The Emerald Master revealed a sorrowful expression. Although there might be black hole worms and black hole lairs, the problem is that not every black hole nest has black hole worms. As the saying goes, a crafty rabbit has 3 burrows. Black hole worms are the same. In order to protect themselves, they will build many black hole lairs, and these black hole lairs contain great danger. Some might be a world of fire, some might be a world of ice and snow, and some might even be a world of poison. These are the energies that the black hole worm draws from the dimensional world. They contain great danger. Once someone accidentally steps into one of these black hole lairs, they will fall into the black hole worm's trap and die. They will never come out alive. That's why black hole worms are so difficult to obtain and refine. He felt that it was a pity. He thought that he could trick Xia Ping, but he didn't expect this kid to be so calm. He didn't act immediately, nor was he impatient. Such a temperament was out of his expectations. I see. It seems that finding the black hole worm isn't that simple. Will take a lot of time. Xia Ping nodded. That's okay. What we don't lack the least is time. The Emerald Master wasn't anxious at all. However, although the Emerald Master wasn't anxious, Xia Ping didn't want to waste too much time here. As the saying went, a long night is fraught with trouble. This was the demon realm, and who knew what would happen? As time passed, more and more demon realm mighty figures would come to this place. It was better to quickly refine the black hole worm and quickly leave the demon realm. Xia Ping. At that moment, the Green One's voice sounded faintly. Head northwest. I can sense that there might be great opportunities there. There might be black hole worms. Northwest. Xia Ping raised his brows. He knew that this was a sign of the Green One's bloodline ability. It was a bit similar to his Kane Dharma treasure, the Wish Compass, which could find various types of fortuitous encounters and Dharma treasures. Chapter 1831. The area of this worm nest was too big, at least equivalent to hundreds of star fields. It was vast and boundless. Just by relying on the ability to fly, one would not be able to reach the end. And Xia Ping listened to the Green Phoenix's instructions and kept flying in the northwest direction. They flew like this for 3 days and 3 nights. However, along the way they did not find anything. They only passed by a desolate planet and found many extremely dangerous traps and worm nests, almost causing some monster kings to die. This also made many monster kings angry and resentful. Brother Wu, why do you keep going in this direction? Why not change direction? I think there might be a black hole worm in the east, a monster king suggested. No, just go in this direction. If you are dissatisfied you can leave the team and leave. Xia Ping glanced sideways and did not explain anything. He had absolute confidence in the Green Phoenix's ability. What? Hearing this, the Monster King was immediately angered. A monster at the returning nature realm actually dared to speak to him like this. He was really too bold and did not give him any face at all. If he was not afraid of the ancient heavenly dragon talisman on this kid, he would have already smacked this bastard to death. However, after weighing the strength of both sides, he still endured it. After all, the power of the 46 ancient heavenly dragon talismans was too terrifying. It was not something he could resist. What is he so arrogant for? Isn't he just backed by the treasures of the ancient heavenly dragon talismans? Without these treasures, this Master Potato is just trash. How would he dare to be arrogant with us Dharma plane experts? A Monster King gritted his teeth and secretly expressed his dissatisfaction. Of course, he also used his divine sense and did not dare to say it out loud. Otherwise, if this Master Potato heard it, he would not be able to bear the consequences. He could only secretly complain. That's right. He's just a playboy. He's lucky to have a good father and got the ancient heavenly dragon talisman. Otherwise, how would he be qualified to search for the black hole worm with us Dharma plane experts? His luck is heaven-defying and he has a good family background. Naturally, he is a bit arrogant. There is no way to compare. Compare his grandpa. If I also have the ancient heavenly dragon talisman, let's see if this kid still dares to be arrogant. I will immediately beat him until he looks for his teeth on the ground and cries for his parents. I will let him know why the flowers are so red. In fact, many demon monarchs had been dissatisfied with Xia Ping over the past few days. This was because Xia Ping had acted arbitrarily and insisted on walking in this direction, ignoring the opinions of many demon monarchs. As proud and arrogant monster kings, how could they stand being ordered around like this? If it wasn't for the fact that they wanted to borrow some of Xia Ping's power, they would have long left in a huff. It's better if you speak less. If this hot-tempered hedonistic son hears you, you'll have to bear the consequences. It was still a little wary of Xia Ping's ability. It was afraid that Xia Ping had some kind of secret treasure that could eavesdrop on their divine sense transmissions, which would bring them great trouble. Fuck, a hairy monster actually dared to defecate and piss on our heads. He doesn't respect us, the Monster Kings, at all. Brother Jadeite, what do you say? We can't let him do as he pleases. A demon king looked at the Emerald Lord, wanting it to make the decision. Hearing these words, the Emerald Lord was overjoyed. This brat had been courting death these days and offended many monster kings. Now was the best time for it to rope in demon hearts. However, it still put on an act and said, "Everyone, we're all monsters on the same boat. Let's not treat each other like outsiders. In fact, Brother Wu is doing this for our own good. Perhaps he has discovered something." Discovered my ass. He only knows how to wander around. A monster king scolded, "I've seen too many hedonistic sons. They can do anything on a whim. If he really discovered something, why didn't he say it? Why is he still stubbornly going his own way?" That's right. We've seen that brat's arrogance before. He could have avoided conflict with Stormwind City outside the nest and discussed things peacefully. It's not like we can't coexist peacefully. A monster king mentioned what had happened before and was filled with anger. But that brat started shouting about fighting and killing the moment he arrived. He completely offended Feng Ganglai, and there's no way to salvage the situation. That brat is having a good time. He killed many monster kings from Stormwind City, beat Feng Ganglai away, and obtained countless treasures. Moreover, he has a huge backer and is not afraid of Stormwind City. But what about us? Our roots are in Emerald City. We can run but we can't run. How can we bear the anger of Stormwind City in the future? Is our only choice left? It was very dissatisfied with what Xia Ping had done before, and now it was venting its anger. The other monster kings also nodded in agreement. What Xia Ping had done previously had caused them great harm, but Xia Ping's prestige was still there, so no one dared to say anything. The Emerald Lord was extremely happy. Now that Master Wu Taidu had angered the public, it only needed to raise its voice and there would be many followers. This was the general trend, and with the people's hearts in their hands, wouldn't it be successful? However, it was not anxious and wanted to keep a low profile. It coughed and said, "Everyone, I know what you are thinking, but finding the black hole worm is the most important thing now. As long as we get the black hole worm, the threat of Stormwind City is nothing. We can join a stronger force at any time, and there's even a possibility of becoming a monster sage in the future. We can't fall out with this brat now. After all, the immemorial heavenly dragon talisman on him is not simple. Once it is activated, dozens of lightning tribulation realm monsters are not his match. With this brat here we can go smoothly and we can use his power to obtain the black hole worm. The other monster kings also understood this point. In fact, if they did not want to use Xia Ping, they would not be willing to endure Xia Ping's violent temper and would have already attacked him. They were all smart people, and naturally knew how to weigh the pros and cons compared to the benefits of the black hole worm. Suffering a little grievance was nothing. Brother Emerald, you can't say it like that. That brat is rich and powerful and he has a treasure in hand. If he wants to monopolize all the black hole worms, we can't do anything to him. Who knows if he will fall out with us? He is just an outsider and I don't believe in the character of this hedonistic son, a monster king shouted. He very insidiously said what the other monster kings were worried about. He was the Emerald Master's underling, and he said these words to build momentum for the Emerald Master and unite the other monster kings. Many monster kings were also awestruck. They were also worried about this point. This Master Potato was too powerful, and if he really fell out with him they might not be able to do anything. Fall out with him? Who knows who will fall out with him then? The Emerald Master sneered. There are countless old monsters fighting for the black hole worm this time, and there are also many who can block the immemorial heavenly dragon talisman. If we wait until this brat and the other old monsters are injured, we can sneak attack and eliminate this brat. At that time, not only can we obtain the black hole worm, but we might even be able to take the immemorial heavenly dragon talisman from this brat for ourselves. There are many such benefits. Of course, this also requires the help of all brothers. Otherwise, this plan has no possibility of success. Hearing this, the eyes of the other monster kings lit up. If they could find a chance to sneak attack and kill this Master Potato, those immemorial heavenly dragon talismans would probably fall into their hands. Chapter 1832. Of course, Brother Jadeite, we will follow your lead on this matter. A demon king immediately said. That's right, Brother Jadeite, you are doing what everyone expects. Anyway, that kid is not a demon of the same kind as us. Betrayal is nothing. But this matter must be kept a secret. Otherwise, if that kid finds out, I'm afraid we will suffer revenge. That's natural. We are all good brothers. We will never betray each other. The demon kings looked at each other and revealed a mysterious smile. Their eyes exuded a sinister light as vicious schemes brewed in their hearts. No one knew what they were planning. That's for the best. After all, we are true brothers who have known each other for many years. We are friends of life and death. Our relationship is very strong. How can that kid compare? Jadeite Master laughed. He had united this group of demon kings. At the critical moment, he could kill Master Potato and snatch the ancient heavenly dragon talismans. Of course, if there was a chance, he would kill these so-called good brothers as well. It was better for him to keep such benefits to himself. After all, the number of ancient heavenly dragon talismans was too high. At this moment, Xia Ping hurried along the way and immediately sensed a strong wave of dermic power and spatial fluctuations in the distance. It was as if countless experts were fighting and an earth-shattering battle had taken place. There are experts fighting. There might be secret treasures in front. Let's go and take a look. Jadeite Master and the other demon kings naturally sensed such strong fluctuations. They looked at each other and felt invigorated. After 3 days and 3 nights, they finally found a suspected treasure trove. After all, this was the lair of Patriarch Black Insect. There were countless secret treasures in a vast area. If it was not for the secret treasures, the demon kings would not fight to the death. Swoosh, swoosh. As soon as they finished speaking, their figures flickered and immediately approached the scene of the battle. After a while, Xia Ping and the others came in front of a huge lair. This lair was extremely large. There were many dark holes around it like a bee's nest. They extended in all directions and seemed to be connected to many dimensional worlds. Many long worms appeared around the nest. Their bodies were huge, spanning dozens of kilometers. They stretched across the void like a huge city wall. Their bodies were pitch black, and they seemed to be covered in armor made of black scales. Dense spatial runes appeared on their skin, and they exuded a heart-palpitating aura. The demon kings were shocked. Without a doubt, these were the famous black hole worms. The black hole insects were all over the lair, and some of them opened their mouths and spat out flames. These were not ordinary flames but spatial spirit flames from the fire dimension. They could burn space and were invincible, possessing terrifying destructive power. Once they sprayed the spatial spirit fire, the enemies nearby would be burned to death like dumplings, turning into charcoal. Some were directly burned to ashes, no longer existing. Some of them spat out cold currents. These were the extreme cold currents from the ice dimension. They contained a frighteningly low temperature that could freeze the circulation of magic power. When they were spat out, the surroundings would turn into a world of ice and snow. All the enemies would be frozen into ice sculptures and their life aura would be stolen. Some shot out lightning, the terrifying spatial tribulation lightning that came from the lightning dimension. It ignored defenses and tore through the void, directly attacking the enemy's body, instantly killing the enemy. It was extremely terrifying. This was one of the abilities of the black hole worms. Not only did they have the ability to excavate space, but they could also communicate with dimensional worlds and absorb the energy of these dimensional worlds, storing it in their special stomachs. At the crucial moment, they would spit it out to kill the enemy. It was extremely terrifying. So many demon kings. Xiaoping narrowed his eyes and discovered that the huge lair was already filled with enemies. Just by looking at them, he could see that there were more than 200,000 Transcendence demon kings. Among them, there were more than 10,000 Thunder Tribulation Realm demon kings. They formed many demon formations and surrounded the lair, attempting to capture all the black hole worms. My God, all the demon kings in the demon realm have come here. Look, isn't that Voidwood King? The Wood Race's demon king. A demon king couldn't help but cry out. Although they were all demon kings, they called themselves demon kings. In the demon realm, true demon kings were recognized by many great demons. Only those with invincible strength could have their own demon king title. Could be said that these demon kings could all be called demon kings. They were all terrifying experts at the peak of the Thunder Tribulation realm, just one step away from the Sage realm. Without a title, they couldn't be recognized by countless demons. They were at most country bumpkins and couldn't be shown in public. It's not just Voidwood King. That's Silver Wing King, the leader of the Wing race. His speed is said to be invincible among the demon kings. He's like a stream of light, sweeping everything in his way. The Sea Race's Power Whale King is here too. His strength is unparalleled. He once tore apart the Ghost Sea with his bare hands and created a super canyon across the sea. He has the power to change the world. Flood Dragon King, Golden Rock King, and other famous demon kings have all appeared here. They're all demon kings of the same level. My God, this is a gathering of powerhouses. Emerald Lord and the other demon kings all held their breaths and widened their eyes. They were just some country bumpkins. Although their cultivation levels weren't bad, they still couldn't stand at the peak of the demon realm. Facing these top demon kings who had long been famous in the demon realm, they also felt that they couldn't be inferior to them. After all, even if their cultivation levels were the same, their bloodlines, magic treasures, demonic powers, and cultivation techniques would also cause their combat strength to be different. Sometimes, these top demon kings could fight dozens of demon kings of the same level. This was the power of a demon king. Every one of them had an impressive battle record, and all demons feared them. There are a lot of black hole worms here, and there seem to be a lot of eggs too. Emerald Lord's eyes burned with passion. He looked at the worm nest and found that there were hundreds of mature black hole worms around it, guarding the surroundings like soldiers. In the depths of the worm nest, there were giant eggs piled up like a small mountain. There were at least 1,000 of them, and they emitted a heart-palpitating aura. Many demon kings were tempted. Mature black hole worms had their own consciousness, and it was extremely difficult to refine them. However, the eggs were different. They were still in their infancy, so it was much easier to refine them. No wonder so many demon kings had gathered here. There were thousands of eggs. If they could obtain them, they would become rich overnight. It was enough to establish a great demon race and stand above the countless peak races in the demon realm. Chapter 1833. No, there's a secret here. Xiaoping narrowed his eyes. His golden crow eye of hell looked into the depths and discovered that there was a black insect egg that was 10 times larger than an ordinary insect egg among the thousands of insect eggs. This black insect egg was very unusual. The surface of the eggshell was engraved with dense dark golden patterns. It looked extremely mystical and noble, and it emitted a heart-palpitating aura. At the same time, this black insect egg was like a heart that resonated with the surrounding void. The void trembled as it constantly breathed, pulsed, and swallowed the spatial energy in the depths of the void. The dark golden patterns on the surface of the eggshell seemed to be a strange spatial formation. It formed a black hole that turned into a void beast that produced a terrifying devouring power. With it as the center, the spatial energy in the depths of the void frantically surged into the depths of this insect egg. This kind of devouring speed was very domineering and tyrannical. It was like a king that plundered everything. The other insect eggs could only get a small share and were completely unable to compete with this black insect egg. Very soon the Emerald Master and the other demon kings also noticed this black insect egg standing at the top, and they all revealed looks of shock. Oh my god, this is a king insect egg. Why would it appear in this place? The Emerald Master couldn't help but cry out, as if she couldn't believe her eyes as she stared at the black insect egg. A king insect. Xia Ping's eyes lit up. After Tu Ling Long and the Green Wan's explanation, he also knew that even among the many black hole insects, there were differences in aptitudes and grades. Moreover, this difference was destined from birth and it was almost impossible to change. Its insect eggs had a total of 3 grades, which were the soldier grade, the general grade, and the king grade. Among them, the soldier grade black hole insect was the lowest grade and had the weakest aptitude, but it was also the most numerous. The general grade was rare, but its aptitude was very strong. It could be considered a cadre grade and could control countless soldier grade black hole insects. The king grade was different. It was the king of many black hole insects, an existence that stood at the top of all the black hole insects. It ruled over everything and was the king of this race. Legend had it that the black hole ancestor had been a king insect back then, which was why it had such supreme power. Black hole insects of this level weren't as simple as being few in number. Rather, they might not even appear in a billion years. Once they did appear, they would be able to control many black hole insects and gather them together. No wonder the solitary black hole worms would gather together and protect their nest. It turns out that there's a king worm egg here. They're protecting their future king so that it can be born safely. The Emerald Master was suddenly enlightened. I have to get it. I have to get the king beetle egg. Once I get the king beetle, it's like getting everything. It's better than getting thousands of black hole worms. A demon king roared furiously. His eyes were filled with greed. He wanted nothing more than to rush over and snatch the black insect egg for himself. The king insect was not only talented and ruled over the insects. It was said that once it appeared, the black hole worm's ability to reproduce would increase tremendously. The black hole worm, which was originally very difficult to breed, would be born as easily as laying an egg. Every time a monarch worm appeared, the black cave worm clan would be at their most prosperous. Their numbers would increase exponentially. It could be said that obtaining a monarch worm was equivalent to obtaining the entire black cave worm clan. Don't be rash. The Emerald Master stopped the demon kings from making a move. His expression was solemn. Don't you see the situation now? There are at least 200,000 Transcendence Realm demon kings here. Even the titled demon kings are nearby. Without a doubt, this place is a huge meat grinder. If small fries like us dare to rush in, there won't be anything left of us. The king insect is extremely precious, but we have to be alive to get it. Hearing this, many demon kings calmed down. Indeed, their strength was nothing in front of the titled demon kings. They were not qualified to snatch food from the tiger's mouth. They were helpless. Without strength, they wouldn't be able to snatch the treasure even if they saw it. Brother Emerald is right. The king insect is the target of everyone. We can't move recklessly. Otherwise we'll die. Don't play around with your lives, a demon king said in a low voice. The Emerald Master looked around and said in a low voice, it's impossible to snatch it openly. There are too many enemies and they're all very powerful. We can only wait until the demon kings are injured before we make a move. We might have a chance of winning then. I wanted to lurk and reap the benefits. The demon kings nodded. This was a good plan. Only this way could they defeat the strong. Even if they couldn't get the king insect, they could still snatch a few black hole worm eggs. King insect. Xia Ping narrowed his eyes. He coveted the king insect very much. In fact, not just the king insect but the mature black hole worms and the eggs were all things he wanted. A black hole worm was so powerful. It could dig space like an excavator and clear the passage. It would bring its master endless benefits. If he could get a group of black hole worms, wouldn't it be great? Wouldn't digging space passages be as easy as eating and drinking? It would be like getting a nest of excavators. Everyone. Thinking of this, Xia Ping stood up and looked at the Emerald Master and the other demon kings. Brother Wu, what do you want to say? The Emerald Master and the other demon kings looked at Xia Ping curiously, not knowing what he wanted to do. It's time. Xia Ping said, the black hole worm is just ahead, and the king insect is born. This is a heaven-sent opportunity. Let's snatch all these eggs and soar to the sky. Brother Wu, what do you want to do? Those guys have a lot of power. Don't mess around. The Emerald Master and the other demon kings faintly felt that something was wrong. They looked at Xiaoping nervously. They all felt that this kid was likely to court death and implicate them. Don't worry, it's just a group of small fish and shrimp. I can beat this group of losers half to death with a casual move. You guys just stay behind me and wave the flag and shout the battle cry. Watch me, Master Wu Taidu, kill in all directions, intimidate the heroes and make a name for myself. This is an unprecedented opportunity. How can I miss it? Xiaoping stood with his hands behind his back, revealing a high-spirited look. I'm wrong my ass. This kid really wants to go out and fight for the black hole worm? The Emerald Master and the other demon kings were dumbfounded. Didn't this bastard see the situation now? There were as many almighty as the clouds and demon kings as the rain. It was clearly a meat grinder battlefield. Anyone who went in would die. In the face of such danger, not only did he not hide and peacefully develop, but he actually wanted to go out and get involved. Was there something wrong with this bastard's brain? Chapter 1834. Brother Wu, it's better if you don't go out. Stay here and wait for both sides to be injured. It won't be too late for us to make a move then. A monster king was anxious and quickly dissuaded him. Yes, those monster kings are not to be trifled with, and there are too many of them. We are weak and going in is suicide. Why are you in such a hurry? The Emerald Master also advised Xiaoping not to act rashly. They did not want to stop Xiaoping from going to his death, but purely to protect themselves. After all, if this bastard went out, even if they used their knees to think, they would know that their position would be exposed. At that time, they would become the target of everyone, and wouldn't they be dead for sure? Thinking of this, they felt anxious. They absolutely could not watch this bastard kill so many monster kings. What kind of companion was this? It was clearly a stupid teammate. Everyone, don't dissuade me. Xiaoping snorted coldly and said arrogantly, both sides are injured, sneak attack? Is this something I, Master Matedo, can do? What a joke. If you want to become a monster saint, you must have the invincible spirit to sweep through the 9 heavens and 10 earths. Being a yes-man and cowering is only the behavior of a small fry. Even if you die, you can't become a monster saint. I want to use the blood of these monster kings to become a stepping stone for me, Master Matedo, to step into the monster saint realm. Small fry my ass. The group of monster kings wanted to kill Xiaoping immediately. How was this a cowardly behavior? This was weighing the pros and cons. This was the behavior of a wise man who avoided harm and sought benefit. Acting like a reckless man was not a brave man, it was clearly courting death. You still want to use these monster kings as your stepping stones, stepping on their faces. Do you really think that these titled monster kings are made of mud and can be easily killed by you? Before you can make a move, those titled monster kings will probably kill you in one breath. How can they be killed by you? Think about your own strength, don't overestimate yourself. However, before they could say these words in their hearts, Xiaoping's figure flickered and immediately appeared near the battlefield. It's over, it's all over now. Seeing Xiaoping's actions, the Emerald Master's face turned green, and its entire body trembled. A chill rose from the soles of its feet, and it felt as if its body had fallen into an ice cave, and its entire body was trembling uncontrollably. Brother Jadeite, why don't you stop it? Stop this evil spirit. Even if it wants to court death, it can't implicate us. There's something wrong with this kid's head, a big problem. The faces of the demon monarchs darkened, almost as black as charcoal. We can't stop him. That kid's speed is too fast. The Emerald Master felt very helpless. Let's hurry up and leave. If we wait for this brat to start courting death, we'll be finished. We'll definitely become the target of everyone. We can't be killed by this brat for no reason. Some of the demon kings wanted to flee. Fuck, staying together with this brat, no matter how many lives they had, it wouldn't be enough. It's too late. There's no way to escape. The corner of the Emerald Master's mouth twitched. At that moment, Xiaoping's figure flashed and he arrived at the center of the battlefield. He stood with his hands behind his back and looked down at the many monster kings, exuding a domineering aura. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. In an instant, all the monster kings, titled monster kings, and the many black hole worms on the battlefield focused on Xiaoping. They all stopped at the same time. Because Xiaoping was too arrogant, ignoring everything. He was like a firefly in the dark, shining brightly. It was impossible for them not to notice him. Everyone stop. Give me some face. I, Master Wu Taidu, want the worm eggs and the king worm here. None of you can snatch them. Xiaoping stood with his hands behind his back, looking down at the many monster kings. He used his spiritual power and controlled his voice, shaking the void so that every monster king could hear his voice clearly and deafeningly. At the same time, it contained a trace of the aura of a true dragon. Give you some face? Hearing this, the Power Whale King laughed loudly. Where did this little returning nature monster come from? This is the battlefield of the monster kings. How dare you talk big and say that we'll give you some face? Who do you think you are? It felt like it had heard the biggest joke in the world. Could probably laugh for a year. A little late-stage returning nature monster suddenly appeared and wanted the monster kings to give him some face and give up the black hole worms. This was too funny. One had to know that this was a black hole worm, a miraculous treasure that was rarely seen throughout the ages. Obtaining a black hole worm was equivalent to obtaining an enormous fortuitous encounter, an eternal treasure, and one could obtain boundless benefits. Not to mention there was even a king worm egg. It was enough to make the titled monster kings go crazy and fight for it. Which idiot would give up? No one would give him any face. Fuck off. The Jiao Dragon King had a bad temper. He cursed, "Where did this little monster come from? Ignorant dog. This is not a place for you ants. If you don't want to die, then fuck off." If it met such a stupid little returning nature monster under normal circumstances, it would have already slapped him to death and made him regret being born in this world. However, this was a crucial moment in the fight for the black hole worm. It couldn't afford to be distracted, lest it be ambushed by other titled archfiend kings and die. The other monster kings looked at Xiaoping mockingly. They all thought it was very funny. A little returning nature monster dared to stop the battle of the monster kings. His brain must have been damaged. This is a madman. The Emerald Master and the other demon kings were dumbfounded. This was the first time they had seen such an arrogant returning nature realm demon. Facing so many demon king level existences, she actually foolishly rushed out and put on a look as if she wanted to kill everyone. Even if she wanted to die, there was no way she would die like this. They had really underestimated this kid's craziness. It was beyond imagination and illogical. This? Qing Wan and Tu Linglong, who were in the Mountain River Pearl space, also saw this scene. They were speechless. They could not imagine why Xiaoping would do such a thing. Even if he wanted to die, this was not the way to do it. If they were not familiar with Xiaoping's personality, they would also think that Xiaoping was looking for death. But after getting to know him, they knew that Xiaoping might have his own reasons for doing this. Of course, it could also be this bastard's bad taste. He just wanted to disgust others. Xiaoping calmly stood in place, unmoved and fearless. With his current strength, he was already in an invincible position. He also had many secret treasures on him, so he could escape at any time. He was not afraid of the monster kings at all. Since he had come to the monster realm, he had to do something big. Otherwise, he would not be worthy of coming to such a place. Leaving silently like this was not his style. This time he had to give these monster kings an unforgettable experience and let the monster realm know his name, Master Mutadu. Chapter 1835. Swoosh. Xiaoping didn't care about the Demon King's shouts. His figure flashed and he used Kunpeng steps. In an instant he turned into a Kunpeng. Many Kunpeng runes appeared around him, and they merged into the space. He left his original spot and flew towards the depths of the bug nest. Immediately Xiaoping sensed that the closer he got to the bug nest, the greater the resistance. It was as if the bug nest was a super-array formation that was engraved in the depths of the void. It connected countless dimensional worlds and merged into space. The 100 black hole worms could fight against so many demon kings not only because they were powerful, but also because of the power of the bug nest, which gathered the power of space. His golden crow eyes flickered, and he could see many spatial lines appearing in the depths of the void. They intertwined with each other, and endless spatial energy was added to the black hole worms, making them extremely powerful and invincible. If enemies got close to the bug nest, they would be suppressed by the void power of the bug nest. The demon kings might not even be able to use 50% of their strength. Xiaoping could also sense that his strength was being suppressed by the bug nest's array formation. It seemed that this array formation could distinguish the auras of the black hole worms and other creatures. However, he was unafraid. With a thought, he activated the formless mask. A special energy spread throughout his body, and his aura instantly changed into the aura of the black hole worm. As expected, the entire bug nest suppression disappeared. Even the depths of the bug nest transmitted a huge amount of energy, and wave after wave of spatial energy washed over his body. This also made Xiaoping feel that the magic power in his body seemed to have improved greatly. It was as if he had taken many pills. Chance. Xiaoping's figure flashed, and he immediately passed through the bug nest's countless restrictions. Because he had the aura of the black hole worm on him, the huge bug nest treated him as one of its own. It did not activate the defense mechanism and instead welcomed him in. In the next second he entered the deepest part of the bug nest. What? The demon kings and the black hole worms also immediately noticed this scene. They were stunned. They did not expect this kid to dare to attack at this time. None of them could react. Moreover, Xiaoping's speed was faster than they had imagined. In just a breath's time, Xiaoping's figure crossed thousands of kilometers, passing through the defense of the hive and arriving at the deepest part of the hive. He stood above thousands of eggs with his hands behind his back, looking majestic. Immediately, all the demon monarchs and black hole worms were dumbfounded. They stared at Xiaoping dumbfounded. This was especially true for the black hole insects. They had no idea how Xiaoping had passed through the black hole insect nest restrictions and reached the deepest part of the black hole insect nest. That's right, these eggs belong to me now. Xiaoping was very satisfied. He waved his hand and tried to store the eggs into his mountain river pearl without hesitation. Stop. Seeing this, the Golden Rock King was the first to react. He shouted, "Damn thief, leave the eggs. These treasures are not for a little monster like you to touch. Do you want to die?" It threatened viciously, containing boundless anger. The demon monarch's eyes were bloodshot, almost going crazy. They had gathered so many demon monarchs to attack this hive. Who knew how many of them had died, but now Xiaoping had taken advantage of them. This kid was planning to take all the eggs. How could they endure this? They were all going crazy. They wanted to immediately capture Xiaoping and tear him to pieces. They wanted to kill this thief who dared to rob them of their black hole insect nest. Previously they were laughing at this little monster, thinking that this so-called Master Potato was just a joke and looked down on him. But now it was different. This kid did something unexpected and unimaginable. He directly killed his way into the depths of the hive, and now even the black hole insect eggs were in his hands. Seeing this situation, they were burning with anxiety. They were afraid that these eggs would be taken by Xiaoping. If that happened, they would be drawing water with a wicker basket and wouldn't be able to obtain any benefits. Roar. Master Potato, you dare to rob my black hole insect race's king? You're courting death. Thief, go to hell. Get out of the hive immediately. Kill him. Immediately kill this damn demon and dismember his corpse into 10,000 pieces. At this moment, the black hole insect soldiers were even more anxious than the monster kings. They didn't know how Xiaoping passed through their hive's defenses, but this was no longer important. This was because the black hole insect king had fallen into the hands of this monster. This was a great crisis. As guards, they absolutely couldn't allow an enemy to capture their black hole insect king. This was a moment of life and death for their race. All of them roared and went completely crazy. Bang, bang. The matured black hole worms roared and released all the energy in their bodies, blasting towards Xiaoping. Wave after wave of terrifying energy gathered together, forming a turbulent flow of energy that almost tore through the void, attacking in all directions. Perhaps even thousands of planets would be turned to ashes under this kind of attack. Interesting. Xiaoping ignored the threat of these black hole insects. He was very calm and composed. With a wave of his hand, he immediately collected all the black hole insect eggs, not leaving a single one behind. Next, he stood in the center of the hive and spread out his divine sense. At this moment, he sensed that he seemed to have appeared in the depths of a huge spatial array formation. The hive seemed to cover thousands of light years. One spatial node after another appeared and connected with each other. It was like a huge net that completely enveloped this boundless void. Without a doubt, this was a superspatial array formation that contained supreme power. It could even be said that this hive itself was a powerful spatial magic treasure. It was a war fortress with tyrannical combat strength and unparalleled defense. It seems like I can refine it. With a thought, Xiaoping's divine sense seeped into the deepest depths of the hive and entered the core of the array formation. It was a huge dot of light that contained abundant spatial energy. If an ordinary person wanted to refine this array formation core in a short period of time, it would basically be impossible. After all, this was a magic treasure created by the black hole insects. It contained the black hole insects' powerful will. If outsiders wanted to forcibly refine it, they would have to pay a huge price and need a lot of time to have a chance. But Xiaoping was different. He had the system, which was the most tyrannical and mysterious magic treasure he had ever seen. It was estimated that even connate magic treasures were no better than it. With the power of the system, refining this hive was a piece of cake. The system seemed to have sensed Xiaoping's thoughts and said, refining a small hive requires 50 hatred crystals. Refine it? Xiaoping did not hesitate. It was just 50 hatred crystals. He could afford it. Now that he had 300 hatred crystals on him, it was a piece of cake. Yes, host. Chapter 1836. Boom. As soon as he finished speaking, Xiaoping sensed a massive, irresistible and mysterious energy surge out from the depths of his body. This energy surpassed everything, stood above everything, and was supreme. In an instant, this energy surged into the core of the small bug hive's array formation. It was practically unstoppable. The black hole worm's will in the core could not resist at all, and it was instantly submerged and wrapped up. Success. The next second, Xiaoping sensed that his divine sense had entered the core of the bug hive, and a mental connection was formed between them. He had completely refined this bug hive. He felt as if he had become one with this magic treasure. His divine sense spread out, covering every corner of the bug hive, sensing every place. The bug hive was breathing, swallowing spatial energy. He seemed to be breathing as well, sensing the spatial fluctuations within thousands of light years. It was as if he had become a giant black hole worm. At this moment, Xiaoping also saw the enraged attacks of the 100 black hole worm soldiers blasting towards him. However, he had already become one with the bug hive, and there was no distinction between them. He did not care about this attack at all. Banish. Xiaoping gently waved his hand, and the entire bug hive trembled. He instantly severed the connection between it and the black hole worms, causing the many blessing powers on them to disappear. This caused the black hole worms to fall from grace, and their strength was reduced by more than 50%. Dong dong dong. At this moment, the balls of energy bombarded the bug hive, but they were instantly blocked by spatial barriers. They could not harm Xiaoping at all. Impossible. A black hole worm was going crazy. It looked at Xiaoping in disbelief. How could this be? What did you do? Our connection with the bug hive has been severed? Did you refine our bug hive just now? The other black hole worms were stunned as well. They had never experienced something like this before. This bug hive was their home, and it had only grown to this stage after many years of refinement. This was their home, and it was also a powerful magic treasure that they had refined together. It was comparable to a divine artifact. However, in just a few breaths of time, this strange monster had snatched it away and even refined it, causing them to lose control of the bug hive. This was simply unimaginable. Such a thing had never happened in hundreds of millions of years. They had never even heard of it. This caused them to fall into endless chaos. I'm not playing with you anymore. I've already obtained the black hole worm. Goodbye. With a thought, Xiaoping controlled the hive and wanted to escape. You want to leave? It's not that simple. Everyone, let's attack together and destroy this insect nest. We can't let this kid escape. The Jiao Dragon King roared. He also saw that the insect nest had undergone a huge change. If he didn't stop this kid, he was afraid that Master Potato would really run away with the insect nest. It waved its hand and immediately ordered its serpents to form a serpent formation. They gathered the power of the serpents and absorbed the energy from the depths of the void to attack the insect nest. Vaguely, the great formation's energy vibrated, condensing into a terrifying black flood dragon. The surroundings were filled with earth-baleful energy, and the dragon's claws were unstoppable. As the claw descended, the void trembled. It was as though countless planets were being torn apart by this dragon claw. Reckless thing, you actually dare to steal food from the tiger's mouth. This time I'll take your life. The Empty Wood King also attacked. He was very angry. He didn't know how long he had attacked this insect nest, and many of his subordinates had died. Now, this unknown little monster actually wanted to take the opportunity to steal all the eggs and obtain all the benefits. He definitely wouldn't let such a thing happen. His subordinates were demonic trees that had at least reached the transcendence realm. There were tens of thousands of them, and they were scattered around, forming a huge forest that formed the myriad phenomenon formation. As soon as this formation appeared, it condensed a large amount of wood elemental spiritual chi and communicated with the wood dimension. Green vines shot out one after another, trying to tightly bind the insect nest. They definitely couldn't let the insect nest escape. You dare to behave atrociously in front of so many monster kings? You're quite brave, but this is the end for you. Die obediently. The king insect nest belongs to us. The Silver Wing King sneered. He was also very angry. Many monster kings fought to their deaths and paid a heavy price, but now this little monster took the lead. How could he endure it? He immediately gave the order, and many of the winged monster kings moved out. They were all peerless, ferocious birds that covered the sky and the earth. They let out cries that could simply penetrate gold and crack stones. One after another, sharp divine abilities bombarded down, turning into peerless sharp blades that could destroy everything. They were filled with dense golden gung qi, wanting to cut this insect nest into countless pieces. In addition, the other monster kings didn't show any mercy and went all out. They absolutely wouldn't allow Xiaoping to escape like this. He actually succeeded? This Master Potato is indeed extraordinary. In the distance, a monster king of Jadeite City was shocked. He originally thought that Master Potato was going to die, but he didn't expect this kid to really succeed. He controlled the insect nest and wanted to escape. He even succeeded in stealing food from the tiger's mouth. This kid is not simple. He has countless treasures, many secrets, and endless means. I wonder which big race he comes from. Many Monster Kings' eyes flickered as they guessed Xiaoping's identity. However, this Master Potato can't be cocky for long. Although he successfully refined the insect nest, facing so many Monster Kings and titled Monster Kings, he can't escape. It's impossible for him to escape under the eyes of so many Monster Kings. This time he'll be in danger. It's not easy to offend the anger of the public. Some Monster Kings thought that Master Potato was dead for sure. Even if he refined the insect nest, just now hundreds of black hole insects controlled the insect nest, but facing these Monster Kings, it was still in danger, and there was a danger of overturning at any time. And this Master Potato was alone. How could he be a match for those titled Monster Kings? In short, we should hide in the surroundings and not act rashly. If both sides can injure each other, that would be even better. At that time it will be our chance to hit him while he's down. Maybe we can be the fisherman. The Jadeite King's eyes revealed a trace of ominous light. He still wanted to be the fisherman, sneak attack and reap all the benefits. You want to attack me? At this moment, Xiaoping also sensed the endless killing intent in the depths of the void. One terrifying killing array after another crushed over, sealing the void, not giving him the chance and time to escape. Just now, it was the battle of hundreds of black hole insects, and now all the pressure was transferred to him. Chapter 1837. Primordial Skydragon Talismans. At that instant, sensing the lethal killing intent, Xiaoping immediately threw out the 46 primordial Skydragon talismans he had on him. Immediately, the 46 primordial Skydragon talismans spread out around the bug lair. Rumbled the primordial Skydragon energy instantly surged into the bug lair, fusing with the spatial energy of the bug lair. Immediately, the bug lair seemed to be aided by the power of the primordial Skydragon as it constantly expanded and became more stable. The two complemented each other. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Primordial Skydragon after primordial Skydragon flew out from all directions, spanning across the void. Their bodies were almost corporeal as they were infused with massive spatial energy, turning into crystals. They let out earth-shattering roars. It was the roar of a giant dragon. When the roars sounded, ripples appeared in the dark void. It was a sign that space was fluctuating. Dong, dong, dong. The dragon's roar blasted towards the many monster kings, colliding with many great arrays, producing violent explosions and rumbling sounds. Balls of energy exploded one after another. Immediately, the many demon kings could not withstand the destructive force. The arrays were shattered, and their bodies were sent flying, coughing blood incessantly in midair. Some of the weaker demons were even shaken to the point of transforming into a ball of minced meat. They were torn apart and died extremely horrifying deaths. Hollow Wood King, Silver Wing King, Power Whale King, Flood Dragon King, Golden Rock King, and other demon kings were sent flying hundreds of kilometers. Their bodies were torn apart and large amounts of blood flowed out. They looked at the scene in disbelief, as though they could not believe that the combined attack of so many demon kings could not do a thing to a puny returning nature realm demon. As for Xiaoping, he was sitting in the bug lair. All the impact was absorbed by the bug lair, so he was unscathed. What power! Xiaoping's eyes lit up. He sensed that the primordial Skydragon talismans and the bug lair seemed to be very compatible. Their powers did not clash, and when combined, they produced a power that was greater than two. The 46 primordial Skydragon talismans were augmented by the bug lair's spatial energy. The talismans' powers seemed to increase by several times, causing their dragon bodies to materialize and transform into spatial entities. It was as though the primordial sky dragons had awakened. He sensed the dragon power deep within the primordial heavenly dragon talismans surging. At the same time, it was transmitted to his body, reverberating back and forth. It was as though he had been baptized by the dragon power, tempering his body and making it stronger. In fact, the magic power in his body was surging and rising rapidly. Bastard. It's even stronger than when we used the bug hive. The black hole worm's eyes turned green with envy. The hive was clearly their treasure, but now it was being used by that vile monster. The power it displayed was even more terrifying than theirs, easily repelling the combined forces of these monster kings. Damn it, a primordial sky dragon talisman? There are a total of 46 of them. Where did this bastard find them? It's fine if it's just 46 primordial sky dragon talismans. This punk's dermic powers are weak and he can't unleash much of their might. He won't be able to fend off so many demon monarchs. The problem is that the primordial sky dragon talisman has been augmented by this bug nest. Its strength has increased by more than several times, allowing it to produce a sliver of the primordial sky dragon's original might. It's invincible and too domineering. Damn it, where did this Master Mutato come from? Why does he have so many treasures? He's just a little Restoration Realm monster. Could he be the descendant of some demon saint? No matter where he comes from, we can't give him the black hole worm eggs. There's also the king worm. Even if a demon saint comes, we can't give in. That's right. In the demon realm, the demon saints have an agreement that they won't make a move in the demon realm. Even if this Master Mutato has a demon saint behind him, it's impossible for him to make a move now. There's no need to be afraid. The demon monarchs were discussing. They were completely stunned by Xiaoping's attack. Before they found the bug nest flaw, they didn't dare to act rashly. They could only observe carefully and find the flaw. A bunch of trash. Xiaoping stood in the center of the bug nest with his hands behind his back. What bullshit, Demon King? Titled Demon King? In my eyes, you're just a pile of shit. No, you're worse than shit. You want to rob me, Master Mutato's things with this little ability? You really don't know what gave you the courage to do this. Don't make me laugh. I'll warn you again. Master Mutato's patience is limited. If you kneel down and beg for mercy and become my slave, you may have a chance to live. Otherwise you will die for sure. Even the gods and Buddhas can't save you. He looked down on the world and ignored the demon monarchs. He was like a demon monarch, ruling thousands of demons and scolding slaves. What? Hearing this, Kongwood King, Silver Wing King, Power Whale King, Flood Dragon King, Golden Rock King, and other titled demon monarchs were mad. They were very proud. They were all titled demon monarchs, the top existence in the demon realm. Except for the demon saints, they were invincible. With one command, countless demons would die. Millions of corpses were a simple matter. Who dared to go against their majesty? But now, a returning Truth Realm demon, an unknown junior, dared to go against them. He said that they were not even as good as feces and wanted them to kneel down and apologize as slaves. This group of titled monster kings was extremely angry. It could be said that they were so angry that they even had the thought of exterminating Master Mutato's 9 generations. Master Mutato, don't be too arrogant. At this moment, an angry shout was heard. It shook the universe and created a buzzing sound. It created ripples in the tens of millions of kilometers radius. Countless demon monarchs felt pain in their eardrums. Dong. Immediately, the void broke and a large number of demons appeared in the distance. There were at least 100,000 Transcendence Realm demon monarchs. Xiaoping recognized one of the demons. It was the young city lord of Stormwind City, Feng Ganglai, whom he had met before. He was the one who had shouted those words. However, he was not the leader. The real leader was a terrifying demon monarch with a huge body and a crown on his head. He had earth-shattering spiritual power and had reached the peak of God-damnation realm. He was the Storm City Lord Feng Tianji. Storm City Lord Feng Tianji? How did he get here so quickly? Seeing this demon monarch, Kongwood King, Silver Wing King, Power Whale King, Flood Dragon King, Golden Rock King, and other titled demon monarchs' expressions changed. This was because Feng Tianji was also a famous titled demon monarch. Moreover, he was the Storm City Lord, the leader of a super force. He had many subordinates. Now, he had brought 100,000 of them with him. His power was terrifying. It could be said that the demons of Storm City alone were equivalent to half of their military power. Chapter 1838. Seeing the appearance of Feng Tianji, many titled monster kings had ugly expressions. They immediately knew that they had a strong enemy this time, and the opponent had an overwhelming advantage. If the monsters of Storm City killed Master Mateto, they would not get any benefits. Feng Ganglai, you actually dare to appear in front of me? You have some guts. Xia Ping stood with his hands behind his back. I gave you a chance to escape, but you don't know how to be grateful. Now you even dare to bring monsters to cause trouble for me. Do you want to die this time? Grateful my ass. Who is grateful to you? Feng Ganglai cursed. I, Feng Ganglai, will never forget the humiliation you gave me before. Today you're finished. My Stormwind City's army is here. You'll definitely die. It is best if you immediately kneel down and surrender, hand over the nest and the eggs so that we do not lose anything. Otherwise, you will wish you were dead and your whole family will be exterminated. He gritted his teeth and stared at Xia Ping fiercely. Idiot. Xia Ping said disdainfully, you brought a group of monsters before and couldn't do anything to me. Now that you brought my father here, you think you can have monsters to support you? What a fool's dream. If you continue to talk nonsense, I am afraid you and your father will be buried here. Storm City will also perish because of you. Now these 100,000 Dharma Monster Kings were all the elites of Storm City. In order to get the Black Hole Worm, Storm City could be said to have gone all out. If these Demon Kings perished here, Stormwind City would probably cease to exist. What? You are still stubborn even at death's door. Master Mateto, you won't cry until you see the coffin. Feng Ganglai flew into a rage. Lord Father, quickly break this insect nest. I want to let this Master Mateto taste the feeling of wishing he was dead. He wanted to immediately catch Xia Ping and cut this bastard into pieces. Of course this kid must die. No one can stand in the way of Storm City. If he dares to steal from Storm City, he is doomed to die no matter what race he comes from. Feng Qinji said arrogantly. He did not care about Xia Ping at all. He completely treated Xia Ping as a fish on the chopping board. He could do whatever he wanted. It's just a bunch of clay chickens and pottery dogs. Do whatever you want. If you can break through the insect nest defenses, I'll admit defeat. Xia Ping said disdainfully. Just now, 200,000 demon monarchs had joined forces, yet they were defeated and the array shattered. Now, a mere 100,000 demon monarchs joining forces was nothing. Oh, if Stormwind City isn't strong enough, how about adding in my myriad demon pavilion? Is that enough? With a boom, another part of the void broke open, and a large array descended. All sorts of tyrannical auras appeared, and wisps of peerless killing intent pierced through the void. In the distance, densely packed demons appeared. There were more than 150,000 Dharma Plane Demon Kings. Even Feng Tianji could not help but twitch his mouth when he saw these demons. He did not expect there to be a hidden force in the void that was even more powerful than Stormwind City. Following that, a white-robed demon descended in front of the many demon monarchs. He emitted an extremely powerful presence. His sanguine aura boiled, burning like the sun. He was impossible to ignore. Many demons looked over and felt a stabbing pain in their eyes, as though their lifeblood was burning. Myriad Demon Pavilion Elder, Flaming Snake King. Feng Tianji's pupils shrank. He immediately recognized the true identity of this white-robed demon. The other party was also a famous titled demon monarch with earth-shattering combat power. The identity of the other party was not trivial. He was an elder of the Myriad Demon Pavilion. His status was higher than the pavilion branch masters scattered in the major cities. He was equivalent to an imperial envoy, responsible for patrolling the world and had the power to kill. Therefore, with a single order, he immediately mobilized the troops of the Myriad Demon Pavilion in countless cities. 150,000 Dharma Plane Demon Kings were gathered. The military power was even more terrifying than that of Stormwind City. It was just that the time was too short. If there was enough time, the Myriad Demon Pavilion could mobilize 10 times the military power. This was the foundation of a super force that spanned across the demon world. Master Mateto, you have been exposed. You killed the Myriad Demon Pavilion's pavilion branch master in Jadeite City, Black Wind Old Demon, and robbed him of the 18 Archean Heavenly Dragon talismans. You have committed a heinous crime. Surrender now. Do you want to resist stubbornly? Flaming Snake King shouted angrily like an emperor, trying to sentence Xia Ping. What? Many demon kings were dumbfounded. This kid not only offended Stormwind City, but also offended the Myriad Demon Pavilion. He even dared to kill the pavilion branch master. He was extremely audacious. They also immediately understood why this kid had so many Archean Heavenly Dragon talismans. It turned out that he had robbed the 18 Archean Heavenly Dragon talismans from Black Wind Old Demon. It was no wonder that the myriad demon pavilion mobilized so many troops. After all, such a treasure was coveted by the myriad demon pavilion. It must not fall into the hands of other demons. Myriad demon pavilion? Flaming Snake King? A third-rate force with a third-rate character. It's not worth mentioning at all. When there is no tiger in the mountain, the monkey becomes the king. When there is no hero in the world, the boy becomes famous. Xia Ping said disdainfully, "Do you think you are very impressive by mobilizing so many troops? What can you do to me? Do you want me to surrender? You didn't take your medicine this morning, right?" "Believe it or not, I will destroy all of you in this place. I will hurt the myriad demon pavilion deeply, and the myriad demon pavilion will not even dare to fart. Little bastard, how dare you humiliate the myriad demon pavilion like this? You are courting death." Upon hearing this, the Flaming Snake King flew into a rage. "Since you want to die, I will grant you your wish. Immediately set up the Flaming Snake space-splitting array and capture this bastard from the worm nest. I want to tear him into pieces." It was completely infuriated. It had never been so angry before. The myriad demon pavilion was one of the few powerful forces in the demon realm. But this kid said that they were a third-rate force. When there is no tiger in the mountain, the monkey becomes the king. How could they tolerate this? This was clearly a slap to their faces. They would not rest until he was dead. Boom. In an instant, 150,000 Dharma Plane Demon Kings moved immediately. They circulated their demonic powers and formed a super array that spanned thousands of kilometers. Immediately, the Demon Kings saw the demons from the 10,000 Demon Pavilion turn into motes of starlight. The starlight formed a gigantic flaming snake in the dark void. Its body emitted terrifying flames, burning like a blazing sun, igniting the dark void. All of them could feel the terrifying heat wave that almost evaporated their blood. They knew that this was not an ordinary flame. It originated from the flaming snake race. It was an extraordinary flame from the depths of their bloodline, the 3,000 starry sky flame. It contained the flame power to destroy the void and burn planets. And this flaming snake space-splitting array exerted the power of this extraordinary flame to the extreme. It communicated with the various flame dimensions and absorbed the majestic energy from the depths of the dimensions. It could exert a power that could destroy heaven and earth. As the array was formed, the Demon King suddenly realized that this array was even more terrifying. Every trace of the array had turned into a flaming river formed by lava. Every node of the array had turned into a volcano that was tens of thousands of feet high, constantly erupting flames. Chapter 1839. Brother Flaming Snake, let me help you. Seeing Flaming Snake King taking action, Storm City Lord Feng Tianji also added insult to injury. He immediately ordered 100,000 elites of Storm City to form a great formation. Purple Myrtle Astral Wind Formation. In an instant, these Storm City Monster Kings were distributed on various nodes of the formation, while Feng Tianji was deep in the core of the formation, as if he was in the eye of the storm. A formation that spanned hundreds of millions of kilometers rose into the air. Lines and lines of formation runes connected to the void and connected to the dimension of wind. A huge amount of wind elemental energy was poured into the formation. Rumble, immediately, a gust of astral wind gushed out from the great formation, forming a terrible storm. It kept blowing, containing the power to destroy the world. These astral winds attacked Xiaoping, bombarding along the way. Meteorites were instantly blasted into powder, and even planets in the distance were blown away like balloons. No one knew how far they flew. Dong dong dong. Purple Myrtle Astral Wind Formation and Flaming Snake Space Breaking Formation. The two peerless formations bombarded at the same time, fiercely bombarding the insectoid nest. The terrifying astral wind power and the power of the 3,000 starry flame erupted, destroying the insectoid nest crazily. Vaguely, the great formation condensed by the astral wind turned into countless swords, crazily cutting the insectoid nest. Such cutting power was very terrifying. Even if a Thunder Retribution Realm powerhouse entered it, he would probably be cut into countless pieces, leaving no bones behind. At the same time, a huge flaming snake was tearing the insectoid nest. Red flames destroyed the void, seemingly burning the void to the point of collapse, and huge black holes appeared. The power of such flames was about to burn the insectoid nest. Even if the insectoid nest was extremely sturdy, under the crushing of such a great formation, it creaked and was about to collapse. This was enough to show the supreme power of many monster kings. Such a powerful formation power, this Master Potato is dead for sure. In the distance, many monster kings were shocked by the power of these two formations. Even their bodies were trembling. If they were in their place, they would have been killed long ago. Therefore, they believed that Master Potato couldn't resist at all. Not bad. Xiaoping's eyes revealed a trace of coldness. He could feel the horror of these two peerless killing formations. The destructive power was amazing. If this continued, the insectoid nest would probably be destroyed. However, he wouldn't just stand by and watch these monster kings do whatever they wanted. One with the weapon. Xiaoping immediately infused his consciousness into the worm nest and the primordial skydragon talisman. It was as though his soul had fused with the worm nest and the primordial skydragon talisman. It was as though he had transformed into the 46 primordial skydragon talismans at that moment. This made the primordial skydragon talisman even more sentient, as though the Dharma treasure had a soul. In fact, this was the way to maximize the might of the primordial skydragon talisman. By fusing one's soul into the primordial skydragon talisman, one's body would transform into an existence like the primordial skydragon, allowing one to wield the power of the skydragon and be invincible. However, it was not that simple to fuse one's soul into the 46 primordial heavenly dragon talismans. It required massive soul strength, and if one's soul strength was not strong enough, forcefully fusing them would not be able to control them. Fortunately, Xiaoping's soul was extraordinary. Even an ordinary heavenly dragon could not compare to it. Controlling it was as easy as flipping his hand. Boom! At that instant, Xiaoping felt as though he had transformed into a primordial sky dragon. He possessed a massive body as the ancient power of the sky dragon coursed through his body. A vast, powerful, domineering, and noble aura emanated from his body. He felt that he had never understood the primordial sky dragon race so well. It was as though he had instantly become one of the primordial sky dragons, wielding the power of the sky dragon. At the same time, the massive spatial energy of the bug nest augmented each primordial sky dragon, causing their bodies to crystallize and become more corporeal, making them extremely powerful. Kill? Xiaoping bellowed. With a thought, the primordial sky dragons charged in from every direction like bug nest guards, letting out earth-shaking roars. It was the 7 Malish True Dragon Roar. With a roar, boundless bloodlust gathered. It contained a supreme dragon might, causing ripples to appear in the void. It was like a tidal wave, wave after wave of destruction. These sounds transformed into dragon race musical notes. They came from the sky dragon runes and contained unfathomable dragon powers. They transformed into sabers, swords, spears, halberds, whips, and various other weapons. Every dragon race musical note struck out like a dragon race soldier wielding a weapon. The black baneful aura condensed around them was extremely terrifying. Dong, 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 dong. This force fiercely collided with the flaming serpent space-piercing array and the purple myrtle astral wind array. These two peerless killing arrays collided continuously and resisted each other. It was like a comet colliding with the earth, emitting shocking sounds and energy explosions. Waves of terrifying energy ripples spread out in all directions. They swept through the surroundings, swept through the universe, and swept through everything before them. Immediately, many demon kings could not withstand the shockwaves. They were sent flying, coughing blood incessantly in midair. Even their skin had ruptured, spewing copious amounts of blood. The flaming serpent spatial piercing array and the purple myrtle astral wind array immediately shattered, producing crackling sounds. The 46 ancient heavenly dragon talismans and the bug hive were also sent flying thousands of kilometers away. Every talisman was extremely dim, and more than half of their energy had been depleted. The bug hive was the worst off. Dense cracks appeared on it like a spider web. It seemed that if it were to withstand a few more attacks, the gigantic bug hive would be completely shattered. Impossible. He can actually withstand the attacks of our 2 ultimate killing arrays. How did he do it? The Flaming Serpent King and Feng Tianji, the 2 titled demon kings, were in disbelief. They had not expected such a thing to happen. They had thought that a single attack would be enough to turn this arrogant kid into ashes. But now this guy had actually withstood it. He had even destroyed their ultimate array and injured many demon kings. As expected of the legendary ancient heavenly dragon talismans. With the enhancement of the empty hive's energy, they can unleash unparalleled power. But that's all they can do. Looking at the bug hive, it's about to collapse. One more attack and this kid will definitely die. The eyes of the Void Wood King, Silver Wing King, Power Whale King, Flood Dragon King, Golden Rock King, and the other titled demon kings lit up. Although they were shocked that Xia Ping could withstand the attacks of the two killing arrays, the more he did so, the more powerful the ancient heavenly dragon talismans were. But the more it was so, the more it showed how powerful the primordial sky dragon talismans were. If they could kill this punk, these primordial sky dragon talismans would fall into their hands. This was a fortuitous encounter that they absolutely could not miss. Attack. Kill this kid. Kill him while he's down. Chapter 1840. Brother Emerald, what should we do? Should we add insult to injury? In the distance, a demon king from Jadeite City asked. Don't be anxious. Even if we add insult to injury, it's useless. With so many demon kings attacking at the same time, it doesn't matter if we have more demon kings. Moreover, if we get involved, we will definitely expose our whereabouts. We might become the target of public criticism. It's better to be careful and wait and see. Master Emerald expressed his concerns. Many demon kings from Jadeite City nodded. With such a battle happening, they couldn't participate. After all, they were too few in number and couldn't cause any trouble. At this moment, those titled demon kings attacked. Master Mateto, you are guilty of many crimes. Today is the day you die. Go and die immediately. You will be remembered in history if you die in the hands of so many titled demon kings. Die obediently. The black hole worm egg and the ancient heavenly dragon talisman will belong to us. Kill him. Make all the treasures on him pop out. As long as we kill this kid, we can become rich overnight. This is a fortuitous encounter. In order to obtain the black hole worm and snatch the ancient heavenly dragon talisman, the demon kings went crazy and roared. They didn't hide the greed and desire in the depths of their eyes. They immediately attacked using their bloodline mystiques. Terrifying energy blasted towards Xia Ping, turning into heavy rain that covered the entire area. The surroundings were filled with terrifying killing intent that pierced through the void. This was simply a meat grinder battlefield with killing intent everywhere. A bunch of fools. Do you really think I can't do anything to you? I was just testing you just now. I will kill you demon kings like killing pigs and dogs. All of you die. Xia Ping sneered, his eyes filled with killing intent. At this time he no longer hid his trump card. A transparent, fist-sized pearl was thrown out. Sage artifact, pearl of mountains and rivers. This pearl spun in the air, emitting wisps of sage artifact aura. It was like a shocking killing intent that pierced through the void, making one's heart palpitate. It was as if it was a heavenly Tao world, an independent universe with its own operating laws. This was a sage artifact, extraordinary and divine. Haha, it's finally time for me, old bull, to take the stage. The green ox's voice sounded, and it was very excited. Master, I've already said it before. Let me come out as soon as possible and destroy these ants, so that they don't get arrogant. At its peak, the power of the pearl of mountains and rivers was invincible. It was not something that this primordial heavenly dragon talisman could compare with. It had a kind of excitement that it could finally attack. Because apart from restoring most of the abilities of the mountain and river pearl, it didn't have many opportunities to show off. This also made the green ox feel a little regretful that it couldn't show off the power of the mountain and river pearl, and couldn't let it show off in front of Corinne. Things were different now. Against so many powerful enemies, it was time for the pearl of mountains and rivers to show its might. Do it, Xia Ping said. He formed a seal with both hands and infused his mana into the pearl of mountains and rivers. The 9 seas of consciousness in his body trembled. His mana surged like the ocean and surged into the pearl of mountains and rivers. At the same time, he burned many medicinal pills and energy stones at the same time, transforming them into pure energy to power the mountain river pearl. In an instant, a large array formation deep within the pearl of mountains and rivers activated, the yellow river of 9 bends. Boom. This array formation instantly covered a radius of more than 100 light-years, shrouding the void. Lines of the array formation turned into huge yellow rivers that spanned across the void. These yellow rivers had many twists and turns, forming a complex spatial formation that seemed to completely seal off the void. Under the shroud of this array formation, the aura of the yellow springs of hell spread everywhere. It contained the aura of reincarnation, death, 6 paths, deathly stillness, and so on. It was as if it had turned into a hellish world. The yellow rivers seemed to transform into dragons of the yellow springs at this moment. They roared in the void, containing infinite divine might. These were gods and demons from the depths of hell, and they attacked the demon kings. Boom. With just a single strike, the formation diagram displayed an unparalleled might that shook the heavens and the earth. In an instant, the mystical abilities of Hollow Wood King, Silver Wing King, Power Whale King, Jiao Dragon King, Golden Rock King, and other titled demon kings were destroyed. The arrays they formed were easily torn apart like scraps of paper. It also caused many demon kings to suffer from the array formation's backlash. They vomited blood and their lungs were injured. The 200,000 demon kings were more or less heavily injured, coughing up blood non-stop. Sage artifact? You must be joking. This kid actually has a sage artifact. Many demon kings were dumbfounded and couldn't believe it. Sage artifacts were the sage's personal treasures. They were powerful and usually only sages could own them. Of course, there were some sage artifacts that landed in the hands of the big families. However, those were the clan's treasures. Usually they were placed in the family to stabilize the luck of the family. They wouldn't be taken out unless it was a matter of life and death. When hunting for treasures in order to avoid losing the sage artifact and causing irreparable damage, it was impossible for the demon kings to bring the sage artifact out of the family. However, this kid actually had a sage artifact on him. Moreover, it was very powerful. It wasn't as simple as an ordinary sage artifact. It's over. It's all over now. He has the bug hive, the primordial heavenly dragon talisman, and now he has a sage artifact. How are we going to fight him? It's not as simple as how to fight him now. It's how to survive. Everyone knows the power of a sage artifact. It's terrifying. One attack can tear the void apart. It's not something we can block. Run for your life immediately. We aren't his match at all. This isn't something a human can block. With a sage artifact in hand, it's like a sage has descended. No matter how many people come, they will die. Many demon kings were panicking. They were incomparably terrified and wanted to retreat. Now was not the time to snatch the black hole worm or kill them for their treasures. It was time to run and survive. Everyone, don't be afraid. So what if he has a sage artifact? The sage artifact is very powerful. However, every time it is activated, it requires an astronomical amount of yuan qi. That kid can't activate it more than a few times. His entire body will be sucked dry. He can't do anything to us. He's just seeking his own death. At this moment, the Power Whale King jumped out and shouted. It tried to calm the demon kings down and calm them down. It believed that the returning Nature Realm Demon King wouldn't be able to last long. After all, every time the sage artifact was activated, it required a large amount of energy. It wasn't something a demon king could sustain. Before long, the kid would exhaust his own yuan qi and be killed by the sage artifact. They wouldn't even need to do anything. Chapter 1841. Kill? Xia Ping sensed that the Whale King was still yelling and stirring up the army's morale. He flicked his finger and activated a formation rune. Immediately, a yellow river turned into a yellow dragon that roared in the sky and charged at the Whale King. It disappeared into the void and appeared before the Whale King. What? Originally, the Power Whale King was still clamoring, but it suddenly sensed a great danger, its hair standing on end. Bloodline art, invincible, whale swallows the world. At this moment of life and death, the Whale King roared and ignited its blood. Endless spiritual energy gathered on its fist and punched out. Immediately, the entire void boiled, and the surrounding space seemed to turn into a vast ocean. Many ripples appeared in the surrounding space, and a whirlpool appeared in the depths of the fist. It was like a primordial whale devouring everything. This was the Whale King's strongest fist art. It contained the intent of devouring emptiness and strength. It was unstoppable and the ultimate fist art that made it famous. Even cultivators of the same level couldn't take one punch and would be turned into meat paste in an instant. Dong. The yellow dragon fiercely slammed into the Whale King. The Whale King let out a shrill scream. Its martial Dao divine ability was instantly destroyed. It couldn't block the might of the yellow dragon at all. All of its divine ability's power dissipated. At the same time, its entire body was sent flying. Its body had suffered a devastating blow. Blood spurted out of its mouth like a fountain. Its skin burst open. If it wasn't for its thick skin and thick flesh, its body would have been smashed into pieces by that blow. At the same time, the breath of the yellow river seeped into the wounds, creating corrosive, decaying, and death energies. It prevented the wounds from healing and even affected the soul. It was as if countless ghosts had appeared to drag its soul into hell. This was the unique ability of the 9 bends yellow river diagram. It could simulate the breath of hell and destroy souls. Plus, this was only a simulation. It didn't even have 1/10,000th of the power of the Yellow River. If it could obtain the Yellow River water from the depths of hell, it could increase the diagram's power to an unimaginable level. Once the Yellow River came out, it would drown everything. The enemy wouldn't even have a chance to resist. They would fall into the Yellow River in reincarnation. For a moment, the Power Whale King sensed the gap between them and decided to retreat. Even if it thought that Master Mateto couldn't perfectly control this sacred tool, but for a short time there was no problem. At least the Power Whale King couldn't resist the power of the sacred tool for a short time. However, Xiaoping would not let him live. With a light flick of his finger, the yellow dragon once again attacked. Master Mateto, what exactly do you want to do? I am the king of the whale race, yet you actually dare to kill me. Do you know that after I die, the whale race will be furious, and the entire demon world will be turned upside down? At that time, no matter what race you are from, you will all die. All of you will die. Do you understand? You'll implicate your entire clan and die a horrible death. Hurry up and stop. At least there's still room for redemption. The Power Whale King put on a brave front and retreated a few steps back. Xiaoping didn't even say anything. That yellow dragon attacked, tearing apart everything. No divine ability or magical technique was effective against it. It ignored everything and bit down. Dong. The Power Whale King let out a mournful shriek. It couldn't resist at all. Half of its body was bitten off by the yellow dragon. Blood spurted out like it didn't cost anything. It lost half of its life. Ah, beast, evil beast, lowly demon. Master Mateto, you dare to kill me, the Power Whale King. You will die a horrible death. You won't have a good ending, you won't have a good ending. The Power Whale King let out a mournful scream, but it was useless. The yellow dragon chewed a few times and its huge body was completely crushed like food, turning into meat paste. Even its primordial spirit was torn into countless pieces, unable to escape. The Power Whale King was dead. When the surrounding demon kings saw this scene, their hair stood on end, and they felt a chill run down their spines. What kind of character was the Power Whale King? He was a dignified demon king, an invincible character in the demon world, the king of a race. He was insufferably arrogant and despotic before. But now he was bitten to death, his body torn into countless pieces. This scene was simply terrifying, causing many demon kings to tremble. How is it? You demon kings, didn't you want to kill me and steal my treasures? Didn't you want to kill me? Now try being arrogant again, the Power Whale King will end up like this. It won't be the last, just the first. Today all of you will die, pay the price for what you've done. Xiaoping looked down at the demon kings and sentenced them to death. Master Mateto, you're too arrogant. You killed the Power Whale King, there is no way for you to live in this world. The anger of the whale race is not something you can bear. You're dead, you're dead. Arrogant and despotic demon, relying on a divine tool to show off, insufferably arrogant? Everyone attack together, I don't believe that we can't resist this kid's divine tool. Kill, 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 kill this Master Mateto and make all of his treasures pop out. It's still unknown who will be the winner. Kill him, show him what we're made of. Many demon kings were enraged by Xiaoping's words. They roared and attacked together, trying to completely tear this formation apart. They knew that they were trapped in this tyrannical killing formation. Only by killing this Master Mateto could they have a chance to live, otherwise they would die without a doubt. Noisy. Xiaoping sneered, regardless of whether I will die in the future or not, I know very well that you will all die today. 9 Ben's Yellow River diagram, close, kill, slaughter the world. He formed a seal with both hands and immediately activated the 9 Ben's Yellow River diagram. Rumble, the pearl of mountains and rivers trembled. In this formation, each yellow dragon transformed into a yellow dragon. Their pupils emitted a trace of light as if they contained the will of death. In an instant, thousands of yellow dragons gushed out from each yellow river. They attacked the demon kings, madly strangling them. The demon kings did not want to be outdone. They fought against these yellow dragons, displaying their divine abilities. However, these yellow dragons were too terrifying. They were formed from the yellow river and had infinite strength. They would not rest until they were dead. Even if their bodies were smashed, they could instantly recover to their original state. Moreover, they were numerous, even more than the demon kings. In groups, they were invincible. Often, when a demon king defeated a yellow dragon, more than a dozen yellow dragons nearby would pounce and bite, forcibly pulling the demon king into the yellow river and drowning him alive. Some were stubborn and kept struggling. Their entire bodies were completely torn apart and turned into minced meat. Chapter 1842. Good stuff. Xia Ping's eyes immediately lit up when he saw so many demon kings die. With a wave of his hand, he collected the corpses and their space rings. That was because every demon king's corpse was a treasure. Not to mention the fact that the various parts of their bodies were excellent materials for refining weapons, comparable to peerless ores. They were priceless. Due to their long years of cultivation, the flesh and blood of many demon kings also contained powerful medicinal properties. They were equivalent to 10,000-year-old spiritual herbs that had cultivated to become spirits. It could be said that every drop of blood contained immense medicinal essence, causing countless living beings to drool over it. If ordinary demons were to obtain some of the demon monarch's blood essence, their dermic powers would definitely increase tremendously, and their cultivation would improve by leaps and bounds. Now that these monster kings had been killed, they left behind huge bodies and thick flesh and blood. To Xia Ping, these were like stocks of 10,000-year-old spirit medicine, their value shocking. Naturally, he wouldn't let go of such rare treasures and collected them all. At the same time, the souls of these dead monsters scattered around. Xia Ping used a secret technique to absorb them all. Even if he couldn't absorb them now, he could digest them later. After collecting a portion of the corpses, Xia Ping's eyes flashed. He found that these titled monsters were very powerful. They were still fighting back. Especially the Flood Dragon King. Relying on his Flood Dragon body, he fought against the Yellow Dragons. His every punch and kick contained the power of a Flood Dragon, tearing everything apart. It had to be said that they were worthy of being titled Demon Kings. They weren't that easy to kill. Every one of them had experienced hundreds of battles. Master Mateto, come out and fight 300 rounds with me if you have the guts. What's the point of relying on a divine item? If I don't kill you in 3 punches, I'll kill myself. The Flood Dragon King shouted arrogantly, trying to provoke Xia Ping into coming out. Underworld Blade. Xia Ping couldn't be bothered to waste words with him. He made a grabbing motion with his hand, and the entire Yellow River diagram trembled. One after another, the yellow rivers converged together, forming a huge yellow saber that emitted a frighteningly sharp light. Countless yellow springs runes wriggled on its surface, as though many ghosts and skeletons had appeared. Dong. He waved his hand and the blade light flashed, creating a shocking scar in the air. Terrifying ripples appeared in the space. This was an unstoppable blade attack and it was unpredictable. What? The Flood Dragon King was still slaughtering everything in its path, but all of a sudden, its hair stood on end. Before it could react, a saber swept past and with a squelch it was beheaded. Glug glug glug. The Flood Dragon King's head fell into the vacuum just like that, rolling around like a rubber ball. Blood spurted out freely, turning the area into a sea of blood. As a demon king at the peak of the Thunder Tribulation realm, it was still struggling even though its head had been chopped off. There was incomparable horror in the depths of its eyes, as if it had never expected that its head would be chopped off with a single strike. It had no power to resist at all. He couldn't help but shout, "Impossible! How could I, the Flood Dragon King, die? I'm invincible, the king of the Flood Dragons. I've had many fortuitous encounters in my life, and I've even obtained the blood of a true dragon. Given time, I will definitely be able to transform into a true dragon and become a demonic saint. I will become a supreme existence that will never perish and rule over tens of thousands of demons. But how can I die now? Impossible, this is simply impossible." Dong. Before it could finish speaking, Xia Ping slapped the void with his palm. Following that, the Flood Dragon King's entire body shattered into powder. Even its primordial spirit was destroyed, and it disappeared from this universe. The Flood Dragon King is dead. When the many demon kings saw this scene, they were even more terrified. Another titled demon king had fallen. Normally, the death of a titled demon king would be an earth-shattering event. It would be enough to shake the entire demon world and cause countless races to tremble. It would cause earth-shattering waves. But now, titled demon kings were dying one after another. They were not worth anything at all. Run quickly. This is a demon, not a monster. It's a demon from the abyss. We can't fight it head-on. The Silver Wing King was scared half to death, and his courage was almost gone. In terms of combat strength, he was almost on par with the Flood Dragon King. To some extent, the Flood Dragon King was even stronger than him. But now he was dead and his head was chopped off. If this Master Mateto were to deal with him, he would undoubtedly die. Whoosh, whoosh. As soon as he finished speaking, the Silver Winged King used his bloodline ability. He was the king of the winged race. He flapped his wings, turned into a stream of light, and escaped into the void. He wanted to escape from this place. As the king of the winged race, his speed was unparalleled. Even among the many titled demon kings, he was the best. No other demon king could catch up to his speed. Once he wanted to escape, other than a demon saint, no other demon king could kill him. But now the Silver Winged King had miscalculated. Because he tried to escape everywhere, he suddenly found himself trapped in a maze. No matter where he ran, no matter how fast he ran, he would eventually return to the same place. It was as if everything he did was useless. Fool, the 9 bends yellow river diagram isn't that simple. It's a spatial matrix that covers the entire space, sealing the sky and locking the earth. No matter how fast you are, you won't be able to escape the sealing range of this matrix. Xia Ping shook his head. When the 9 bends yellow river diagram appeared, it immediately turned this part of the starry sky into an absolute domain space. This meant that many demon kings couldn't escape even if they had extreme speed. He formed seals with both hands and dozens of yellow rivers condensed into a huge hand. He ruthlessly stretched it out and penetrated the void. Countless spaces were torn apart, and it directly reached the side of the Silver Winged King. Dong. With just a light pinch, the Silver Winged King's body was grabbed out of the void like a chicken. He turned into a ball of silver light and was still struggling, trying to escape. He was very unwilling to be caught. But it was useless because he was inside the 9 bends yellow river diagram and was enveloped by the formation. Even if he was a ball of light, he would still be trapped. It shouted in horror, "Master Mateto, spare me, spare my life. I am the king of the Silver Winged Clan, a supreme existence with a lofty status, a high position and great power. If I die, it will be a loss that the Silver Wing race can't bear. If you kill me, you will definitely become the mortal enemy of the Silver Wing race. You will be cursed by the Silver Wing race for eternity. Do you want to bear such a consequence?" He put on a strong front, but he was weak inside. He threatened Xia Ping fiercely. "Do not rest until death? I like it the most. Let the elders of your Silver Wing race come and kill me. I, Master Mateto, will be waiting. Don't be too late." Chapter 1843. Damn it, Silver Wing King, Jiao Dragon King, Power Whale King, they are all dead. What should we do now? Some beast kings looked at Flame Snake King. They were incomparably terrified. Even titled beast kings died like ants in this place. Wouldn't ordinary beast kings like them also be frozen in water? Break out, we must break out immediately, we must not die in this damn place. Flame Snake King's expression was ferocious. He was an elder of Thousand Demon Pavilion. He had a high position. His future was boundless. He even had the hope of becoming a beast saint. How could he be willing to die in this damn place? "Elder, we can't break out at all. This big formation is too terrifying. It is like a space maze. The area is boundless." Silver Wing King's speed was so fast he was like a streamer, but he still couldn't break out. Another beast king said helplessly, "Why don't we just exhaust that Master Mateto? Such a tyrannical formation. That brat can't hold on for long. Sooner or later his magic power will be exhausted." Another beast king shouted. With a slap next to him, a beast king slapped. "Exhaust your ass, can't you see that Master Mateto is very lively? His magic power is earth-shattering. He is not an ordinary returning true realm beast. He is comparable to an ordinary Thunder Retribution realm beast king. We still want to exhaust him to death. Before we can exhaust him, we will be killed." He felt that this guy just came up with a bad idea. Damn it. Flame Snake King gritted his teeth. He was regretting now. If he knew that this Master Mateto was so abnormal, he would not come to this place to find trouble with Master Mateto. But now it was too late to say anything. This hateful Master Mateto clearly didn't want them to live. He wanted to establish his prestige in the demon realm with their corpses and blood. He intended to kill the chicken to scare the monkey. "Feng Qinji, what do you think? Do you have any way to break out? This is a life and death situation. We must do our best. Otherwise we will all die." Flame Snake King planned to cooperate with Storm City Lord Feng Qinji. This? Feng Qinji was also very embarrassed. If he had a way, he would have already broken out. Why would he wait until now? "Lord Father, look." Suddenly, Feng Ganglai seemed to notice something. He pointed into the distance and said, "Those are the monsters of Jadeite City. Among them is the Jadeite City Lord, the Jadeite Master. I have seen them before. They seem to be the friends of Master Mateto. They have a good relationship. I didn't expect them to appear here." He pointed into the distance. Emerald King and other beast kings appeared. The moment the 9 bends yellow river diagram appeared, the void trembled. The Emerald Sovereign and the other demon monarchs could no longer maintain their concealment and were sent flying out in front of the demons. But they were very safe because Xia Ping did not control the 9 bend yellow river picture to deal with them. Master Matato friends? Hearing this, Feng Tianji's eyes suddenly lit up. If we can capture these guys and threaten Master Matato, maybe we still have a chance to leave this place alive. It immediately had the thought of capturing the Emerald Master and the other Demon Kings alive so that Xia Ping would not be able to harm them. Capture them. Kill them if they resist. The Flame Snake King's eyes revealed a hint of cruelty. It didn't care how much relationship the Emerald Master and the other Monster Kings had with Master Matato, but a drowning person wanted to live. Even if it saw a piece of water grass, it would still frantically pull it. No matter what method it was, it had to try. Perhaps the Emerald Master and the other Demon Kings were this brat's weakness. If it succeeded, they would be able to survive. Jadeite Master, stop right there and surrender. Feng Tianji roared angrily and charged over, surrounding the Emerald Master and the other Demon Kings. Wait. Sensing the terrifying murderous intent in the depths of the void, the Emerald Lord was scared to the point of peeing. His face turned pale and he quickly shouted, "Everyone, I am not familiar with that Master Matato. I have only known him for a short time. Even if you catch me, it will not be of much use. Master Matato will definitely not hold back." He knew that his value to Master Matato was not high. If he was caught by many Demon Kings, then he would definitely die. Therefore he absolutely could not fall into the hands of other Demon Kings. Otherwise he would be in a difficult situation. "You're still lying. Do you think I haven't met you before?" Master Matato said it himself. "You and him are friends of life and death, sworn brothers going through life and death together. Now you're still lying about how long you've known him. It's simply irresponsible. Do you really think I'm a 3-year-old child?" Feng Ganglai pierced through his lies and sneered again and again. No. Everything I said is true. If you don't believe me, I can swear to the heavens. If there is even half a lie, I will be struck by lightning." The Emerald Lord swore. He simply hated Xia Ping to death. If it wasn't for this brat talking nonsense and causing trouble everywhere, they would not have ended up like this and become the target of public criticism. Originally, he wanted to be the fisherman and wait for Master Matato and the group of Demon Kings to injure each other. Who would have thought that the situation would suddenly change? Instead, it was Master Matato who went on a killing spree and swept away the group of Demon Kings. It was really a big shock to him. He did not even give him the chance to be the fisherman. And now he was even more unlucky. He was targeted by the Flame Snake King and Feng Tianji and the other Demon Kings. "Strike your uncle. I will strike you to death right now. Why would I need to wait for the lightning to strike?" Feng Tianji and the other Demon Kings instantly attacked. Bang bang bang. After 2 or 3 moves, the Emerald Lord and the other Demon Kings were captured. This was because there were too many Demon Kings like Feng Tianji and the other Demon Kings. They could not contend at all. In just a few moves they were beaten black and blue, unable to resist at all. "Brat, you actually dared to make a move against my friend Brother Emerald. You are simply tired of living." At this time, Xia Ping also noticed this situation. He shouted angrily, "Brother Emerald, don't worry. Leave the matter of your death to me. I will avenge you and take good care of Emerald City. Your city's treasures, beautiful wife and daughter, just leave them all to me. Go to hell, you despicable demons who killed Brother Emerald. All of you shall die for me." He formed a seal with both hands and immediately urged the 9 bends yellow river diagram. He saw that many demons had gathered together. It was a great opportunity to capture this group of Demon Kings in one fell swoop. As for the Emerald Lord and the other Demon Kings, of course, he could feel their hidden killing intent. If he did not have a bit of ability, he would have probably been killed by them. Therefore he would not be merciful. He would just bury them together and end all troubles. No, Master Matato, I am not dead yet. I am not dead yet. I can still be saved." The Emerald Lord's face turned green. He was scared half to death. This son of a bitch, he was not dead yet. He was full of vigor and vigor. He actually wanted to plot to seize his property and inherit his wife and daughter. This kind of bastard demon really could not be trusted. There was no morality to speak of. You're tuning in to the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.